thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 378 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing, recorded live from western northeast South Dakota and eastern southeast South Dakota. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
And Tommy, this is 378. You know why that's important, right?
There's a lot of reasons, but why don't you tell me the most important reason?
I was actually hoping you had a reason that it was important. I was really relying on you having a reason why 378 would be important.
It's your
kind of racking my brain
it's
on
your
that one.
Football number from high school with a 3 added to the front of it.
-1, and I can use that next.
-1.
I can use.
There we go.
I can use that next. Next episode. Next.
I actually
week.
didn't know if you said that joke one time, and I didn't know if your number was in the 70s or
It
where
must
it
have
was.
been 99 episodes ago that I used that joke.
Dude, my timing's always just off.
Yeah.
I had that sit in the back of my brain for 99 episodes. I need to wait for 100, and that joke would have just hit so good.
Yeah. Here we are for episode 378, though. We got a banger this episode. We got a special guest coming soon who just so happens to be lifting at the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic powerlifting meet. That's coming up soon. We're going to be talking about that. We've got a special Jefferson Deadlift competition that's running now. We're going to talk about that and a new drop this week. So, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Before we get to any and all of that, I want to tell you all about Juggernaut AI. Juggernaut AI is the app that Tommy and I both use for our powerlifting programming, training. We've both been using it for many months now, well over a year, making progress, and it's actually the training that a whole bunch of people at Massenomics Gym use. There's like more people using it every time I walk into the gym. There's people using it at Massenomics Gym that I expected would never be using it because either they don't like the tech stuff or
Because
they really
said,
just haven't
I would never. And then they ended up using it.
There's a lot of people that maybe haven't done set programming almost ever. They've lifted hard and heavy for a long time, but they really don't do programming outside of just what they want to do. And this is a real testimonial. There's someone at the gym that has just been using it for a few weeks now, and I hadn't expected that they would even get on it, and said he's using it, and I asked him how it was going. I asked him how it was going this week, and he said, you know what? I'll tell you the honest truth. I wish I would have started doing this so long ago.
Do I know who this is?
It was Big Justin.
Oh.
He said I should have started doing this a long time ago. And I'm like, yeah, I can believe that. It makes a lot of sense. And in addition to that, you know who else uses Juggernaut AI for their programming now at Massenomics Gym?
Larry Legend.
Larry Legend.
Does he?
Larry Legend uses Juggernaut AI.
Look out.
He has
Every
been for a
record
few.
in the books. He
has been for a while.
Hasn't he? Yeah, he
he
actually
has
brought
been
that up
for-
when last time I was at the gym, and I actually did not know if he was being serious or not.
No, he is.
That's
He is.
great for
Larry
him.
is using it. They don't call him the Legend for no reason. They
No,
don't call
they
him the
don't.
Shaft Master for no reason
No.
either, do they?
Nope. He every nickname he has, he's earned it. So
Yeah, so check out Juggernaut AI. When you go sign up, make sure to sign up through the web browser. The reason I want you to do that is because that is where you can use our discount code. Discount code is Massenomics. That'll save you 10% for the lifetime of your membership. Thank you, Juggernaut AI.
And today's episode is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars, and specifically the brand new cutting edge best bar out there, the 29 millimeter Texas Power Bar. US, they delivered the 29 millimeter bar is here. It's their strongest bar to date with an increased shaft diameter of 29 millimeters. Has more loadable sleeve length and a minimum of 200K tensile strength and aggressive knurling. This bar is sure to live up to the hype. We have a lot of Texas Power Bars in the gym, and they are always a crowd favorite. This 29 millimeter, we don't have it yet, but boy,
I haven't bought one yet. It's just a matter of time. I guess I got to decide, do I want to buy it in the bare steel version or the black zinc?
Wow, Tanner, that leads perfectly into the next part of this ad here. That the Texas Power Bar comes in a shaft option of bare steel, black or black zinc, and the sleeve comes chrome or bare steel. Yeah, that is choices.
Like the bare steel. Yeah, I do like the bare steel bars that we have in the gym, but I also like all the black zinc Texas Power Bars that we have. I like the way that the black zinc wears on our Texas Power Bars that are like 7 years old.
It has worn so nicely. It's made this just amazing smooth gradient that I'd think you'd be hard pressed to find many gyms that have Texas Power Bars that have worn like that, you know?
Yeah, I love the way that those our old Texas Power Bars have worn. So I don't know. That'd be the decision, and really reasonable price on that 29 millimeter Texas Power Bar
starting
too.
Starting at $315.
Right.
So one of the best bars out there. Strong as a house, maintenance free, best knurling. You know the deal. Get the new 29 millimeter Texas Power Bar for yourself at texaspowerbars.com.
And if you want to see us handling shafts and bars and that sort of thing, head over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribing. Last week, we posted our Shaft Master video, our blind barbell test video. I think that was our funnest video we've done to date.
Mr. Beast reached out and said, wow, you guys are insane. I need to get you
this is the best.
Some brainstorming.
Yeah, so check out that one. And then this week's drop was the Fulfillment Center tour. So you get a little peek at how the Massenomics sausage is made.
Yeah, real behind the scenes.
Yeah.
All the secrets are spilled.
So if you're not, if you're a listener of the Massenomics podcast and you're not subscribing on YouTube, shame on you.
Shame.
Is that Game of Thrones or something?
Wasn't that, what was that lady's name? Cersei, yeah. As much as you hated
Cersei
her,
Lannister,
you really started to hate those other people even more.
That's true. You do love to hate the Lannisters.
Yeah. But man,
towards the end, you start to like Jaime Lannister,
I know,
don't you?
He was the only
you
one.
Forget that he shoved a kid out of a giant window to fall to his crippling.
Wow, first episode, spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, sorry. I guess if you haven't watched Game of Thrones yet,
and it's
watch Game of Thrones.
It is the first episode, so it's not giving away a ton.
Also, his incest, you also get over his incest too. Then I think about it because. Interesting character there. His changing of his
character arc there.
Right.
Yeah.
More reviews of Game of Thrones and other 15-year-old television shows on this episode of the Massenomics podcast.
Have you heard of Breaking Bad, Tanner?
I could almost rewatch that. It's been so long since I've seen that.
I think I could, but at the same time, I do remember stretches of Breaking Bad starting to feel really depressing. The show really does.
Yeah.
Because the show is doing this job, it just starts to wear on you, though, that show after a while.
Yeah. I think I can.
Did you? I've never asked you, how far did you ever make it in Succession, now that we're talking TV shows? Because there was 4.
Is there new episodes coming out of that right now?
The last season is done. Season 4 is it. And I couldn't remember how far you made it.
I think I probably watched the first 2 seasons. This is my habitual problem with new shows is I find it and I really like it, and then I just
drop out.
I don't find my way getting back to it when it comes back on new again. I don't see things like advertisements or anything like that, so I never really know when when shows are airing again for another season, and I don't make an effort to find it. And see, I could watch that again, but now I'm it's been 4 years since I've seen an episode. So then if I just pick up in season 2 or 3, wherever I think I'm at, do I really remember what's going on?
What you need to do, if you do that, what you should do is you can go to YouTube and type in season 2 recaps, and there'll be someone that'll break it down for you, all the main plot points in 10 minutes. And that would be a way better use of your time than watching the entire
that's why I won't rewatch because then I think I don't remember any of this, and then I start to watch a season I've already seen, and then I'm bored because I'm no, I've definitely seen this before, and I don't care.
Yeah, I do need to watch this last season. Just another show to have closure on here, but.
Update on The Wire. For anyone that's wondering, though, I have not watched The Wire.
Okay, I've kind of expected that answer.
Still have not watched The Wire. We haven't talked about that for quite a while.
Would have been way more shocked if there was some answer in there. But yeah, we have The Wire talk has really dissipated in recent
Never
months,
forget.
hasn't it?
I'm just such a big book guy now. Like, how could I watch The Wire when it's like maybe I'll soak in The Wire once they put it in written format.
Right.
Once they
You're just gonna
convert that show to a
If
book.
you can find the screenplay, you'll do that. It's kind of like the hipster version of watching it. Like,
yeah.
refuses to watch The Wire, reads the screenplay instead.
So should we talk about our new drop this week?
Let's do it.
We have a new drop this week.
Boom. Segment done.
We do have a new drop this week. Just a few hot summer items that are perfect for your coming right on 4th of July here, releasing just in time for that. Hopefully a lot of the shipments will go out around then. Not sure if you'll have it by the 4th of July per se, but you'll have it for summer, and it's just 2 items. I think they're both going to be hot items, so you don't want to sleep on either of these items. And when you're listening to this with it actually coming out, that means the drop's actually already occurred, because as we speak, the drop is tomorrow. So now is your chance, if it's still available, on both of these items. And I am wearing one of the items right here. It's the return of the Jefferson Deadlift tee. People have probably picked up on this through a number of things lately, that this is probably what's coming back. But originally the Jefferson Deadlift tee was in black. This time we've got it in the royal blue color.
Back in blue. Like that ACD sound.
Just like ACDC, just like Metallica said, back in blue. And I really like the blue. It does pop, as the kids would say.
It looks great. I got, you sent me mine about a week ago, and I loved it.
I like the blue. I don't know if maybe it's just because it's new in comparison to the black that I've seen so much, but the blue's real hot right now.
Well, especially my black one was so old. That shirt is almost destroyed. So to see a fresh, crispy version of it really made me happy.
My black one is stinky. Occasionally,
Does it have that
I have 2
permanent stink in it.
Yeah, I have 2 Massenomics shirts right now that there's no coming back from, and it's my black Jefferson Deadlift and my Don't Curl in Me. That's quite old, and fresh out of the laundry, they smell fine. If you smell it, you're like, clean laundry. You wear it for 5 minutes and even think about sweating in it,
It just activates.
and you're like, wow, and it's like it just brings out so much like hidden in the fibers BO out of that thing that you're like, oh, there's no saving this. I should probably burn it, but I don't know what the fumes would do.
It'd be like a gas explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen with shirts after long enough, but
Yeah, Big Alex pointed out, reusing a logo from a previous product on blue fabric. We have never seen this from Massenomics before. This is pretty original one. You know, we take something, but then take something that's pretty cool in black and we make it limited blue.
Yep, it's the oldest trick in the book.
Oldest trick in the book. And then the other item, I don't know, are we spilling exactly what it is? Well,
maybe we'll leave that one as a little bit of a mystery, but we do have a tank top coming. So
it's a tank top.
Summertime, gotta have a tank top every year. This year's no exception.
We're only doing one tank top this year. This is the only design that we're putting on a tank top. So if you want a tank top, this is the one.
Yeah, we really made the decision process significantly easier by giving you one. So really the only thing you have to decide is size. You know, whereas before you had to pick from multiple designs if you were going to do just one. Now you only got one option.
Size it. But we're not saying yet what that is. You're going to have to check out the drop after it goes live to make sure you check out and see what's available there for the tank top. But I think if you like what we've done before, I think you're going to like this one.
I think so too. So yeah, please
if you like Massenomics, you should like this tank top.
Yes. So go out, buy those, be part of this fun summertime party mood that everyone's in.
Yeah. And then tomorrow's a big day for us because the Jefferson Deadlift competition actually kicks off tomorrow too. We have a new drop tomorrow afternoon that kicks off, and we also the official start.
It's been
of the Jefferson Deadlift competition.
6 days since we announced it, which means people have got it programmed into their training. They've been working at this for 6 straight days now. There's going to be some incredible lifts, I believe.
I believe so. And for anyone that doesn't know the details, maybe you didn't listen to last week's episode, I'll give you the real quick down and dirty. We want Jefferson deadlifts. This is going to run from June 29th to July 10th. We're looking for a video posted to Instagram. Post it, use the hashtag JeffersonDL, and make sure to tag us, tag Massenomics in the post. We don't want it to be a story. We want it to be a main post on your IG page, Jefferson DL, and tag Massenomics. For prizes, we're going to pick 3 random winners. And by random, really everyone that enters, everyone that participates has a shot at winning. And there's going to be 3 winners chosen from that group. Those are going to win. What was the details on those winnings? They're going to get $100 total package, 40 of it in $2 bills, 60 in merch. Then we're also going to pick a Massenomics favorite, and they're going to get $100 in Massenomics $2 bills and some Massenomics goodies. And then the heaviest Jefferson deadlift that occurs over the course of this competition is going to win $222 in $2 bills and some Massenomics goodies.
Woo!
So get to Jefferson Deadlift, and I actually did a little I pulled a couple Jefferson deadlifts in the gym today just for the who of it. The competition hasn't even started, but I'm all revved up on this Jefferson deadlifting, so I figured, what the heck?
I'll probably go in tomorrow and get some done.
I would. 'Tis the season.
Mm-hmm. So we're excited to see what everyone's going to throw our way.
Yeah. And we'll be sharing a lot of those. You know, we'll be sharing as many of those as possible, so be on the lookout for seeing what everyone else has cooking in terms of their Jefferson deadlift. The one true deadlift.
That's
Sick
right.
of all this sumo versus conventional arguing.
Settle this once and for all.
Yeah, with the one true deadlift. And I would, speaking of sumo versus conventional arguing, we had several posts on Massenomics Instagram. Just, it's funny, it's 2 episodes ago was Massenomics State of the Union, and we
were saying how
Instagram's not working for us. And now it just was like a line in the sand. Like magically one day they said, no, your posts can be seen by people again. They're going to like them and comment them, and we're going to show them to a bunch of people.
And not just like things changed a little bit. You sent me the graph, and it's like, whoa, like to the extent of like millions of people are seeing them now. Like not even just a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of went from like our worst engagement we've had for a while to now our best engagement that we've had in a little while. Suddenly it kind of turned on a dime, and can't attribute that to anything other than Instagram doing whatever it wants to do, and which we've said, and we know that is what they do, is whatever they want to do. So interesting though that it made a switch, but a lot of the engagement has been around sumo deadlifting, and I gotta say, what's the old segment? Best Instagram/YouTube comment of the week.
Oh yeah, yes, I forgot about that.
And it really wasn't a good comment. We actually found bad comments that are ridiculous. And some of these posts that have been going, getting millions of views or over 1 million views. We have multiple posts in like a week that got over 1 million views. And the comments about sumo deadlifting are stuff that I didn't think people were even commenting anymore. Like this one video of Heather Connor deadlifting the world record, 440 pounds, has 3,000 comments, and the stuff, it's not Massenomics followers or people that even know anything. It's people that don't know anything about powerlifting.
Yeah, it's people that also don't even know like anything about lifting, hardly even.
Like barely know anything about lifting. And the number of comments of people that I couldn't even get into what the comments all are because it's just ridiculous. And I can't keep track. I'm not monitoring all the comments, but it's just wild where we get in the Massenomics bubble where I think everyone has like a baseline of knowledge about stuff.
Yes.
And then you get outside of them
actually
like,
the truth in the general
that's
population.
not what most people are like. Yeah, most people don't understand shit about shit.
Yeah, a lot of people are so insanely, like, you forget that. You go to the gym a little bit, and as long as you're not surrounded by total dumbasses, like most people develop a certain level of, I don't know, modesty, understanding, comprehension for how the gym works. And, they respect a woman that can lift heavy weights. Like, they're not intimidated by that. Like, all right, if every girl on the planet can deadlift more than me, sure, that's awesome. Great. It has no bearing on my worth as a person. It doesn't have anything to do with it. Like, but damn, the number of people that feel threatened by that is just crazy. And then have to make their presence known online that they're the subject matter expert. It's nuts.
It is wild. You drinking anything over there today?
Yes, I am.
We gonna get our drink on. What do you got? Oh,
Back to the classics. Lime
I've
LaCroix.
got a classic myself.
Is that lemon?
Yep. Lemon LaCroix.
I was afraid you were going to pull another limoncello out over there.
No, straight up lemon. Ooh, that was a pretty crispy crack.
I even remembered to put it in the fridge beforehand. Oh, so good.
Mm.
Actually,
Mine fits real nice.
Actually,
in
this might be even
right here.
better than I remember, honestly. It's been a little while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It has not been a while since we did that joke.
Okay, what's that guy's name again? One more time.
Aaron Lewis, right? Or,
I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
yeah.
That is really
It was
funny.
only a week ago.
I
We've
know.
already forgotten this bit.
That's great. And actually, speaking of that, I went to a ice cream shop down the street from me tonight. And while we're outside eating the ice cream, I had to laugh because This Is How You Remind Me by Nickelback came on. And that was also part of the joke last week, was singing that song.
Classic.
Should we start to, should we read, or should we go through some of these odds and ends on our list here, Tanner?
Yeah, let's hit a couple things up in this.
I have a funny one for you. If I say the name Eric, what comes to mind, Tanner?
What comes to mind from the name Eric?
Yeah.
Oh, just probably like a couple people that I personally know with that name. Like,
I mean, don't we all?
yeah.
Like, if you asked me that question, I'd be like, I don't know. I know a bunch of Erics. Like,
Yeah, that's what that's really what I'd say. I don't who's famous with the name Eric?
oh, Eric Lewis.
The singer
Eric.
from Stained. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing really. I'm
well-
drawing a blank on that one. My mind goes nowhere. My mind goes blank.
I had to make a little trip in town the other day to visit a liquor store, and while I'm in there, a guy goes, "Hey, nice shirt, man." I had a Massenomics shirt. I'm like, "Oh, awesome, thanks." I go, you know Massenomics? Oh, Tanner's my cousin. It was your cousin Eric.
Oh, Eric Baird. Oh yeah. Okay.
And I said, "Man, I seem to run into a lot of Tanner's family down here in Sioux Falls." So
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Is he related to the other people that I saw?
No, that's my other fan.
Okay.
That's he shares the same. He's my first cousin on my dad's side.
Okay, I
so
couldn't
we
remember if you
actually
said that was your mom's side or not. I go, "Yeah, I
No,
met
that was
some people at Walmart over here," and he goes, "Oh yeah, that was probably my parents." I don't know. Maybe Tanner's mom has family that lives down here
No,
too.
that
I guess I don't know.
No, because that was my mom. That was my mom's. So I do have a lot of family.
Damn,
in the
you
area,
do. No
actually.
kidding. Wow.
Yeah, he's. I think Big Eric is. I'm gonna get this wrong. He's a teacher and I think track or cross country coach at maybe Harrisburg. Or
I mean,
one of those.
it's that end of town, so
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Harrisburg.
And also works in like the biggest liquor store in town. It's huge. The liquor store is so big it has a bar in it. Like, is that weird? I didn't know that was a thing.
So he works in the liquor store.
He was working there, unless he
Okay.
was just
Well, I
picking.
suppose it's summer.
Unless he was just picking
So-
up bottles and moving them around for fun. Just
I
looking
just
busy.
really like to come and hang out here.
Had a Bluetooth headset in, like taking orders.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I thought that was funny. Just another week that I run into more of Tanner's family around town.
Yeah. They're taking over down there.
They are. You got to watch out. Boy. Okay. Here is something I don't want to get any.
I'm glad you ran into him though. That's a good story, and that's not where I would have thought that was. See, that's just one of the Erics I know would have been my cousin Eric.
Yeah, man, I cannot believe when I said what comes to mind when I say Eric that you did not guess that. Jeez, Tanner.
It just along those lines. I was at Storybook Land a few days ago, and someone goes by, and I'm not on the train, and someone goes by in the train, and someone yells, "Hey, it's one of the Massenomics guys!" And it was Big Zane.
Okay, awesome. You haven't seen Zane in a little while now, but that is funny.
Yeah. What comes to your mind when I say Zane?
Oh, Zane, my friend Zane. Yeah. Actually, like we joke whenever we see someone that is named Zane that it's like, how does we usually say, "Oh man, I feel bad for that guy. He's got the same name as you." Like that's usually the joke.
Big
there.
Keith in the Discord said, "What the heck is Storybook Land?" I'm pretty sure we've covered this a couple times,
Yeah.
haven't we?
It's I think best described by whatever was in whatever that
Who said
podcast, whatever that podcast was. That
Was that Mike Israetel?
no, that murder podcast. That
Oh, that's what that was. That's who said that.
It's-
Yeah, I know what
it's-
you're talking about.
It's royalty-free Disneyland.
Yeah. But it's good.
It is, no, it
but
is.
It is
It's
like
a
royalty-free
kid-
Disneyland.
It's for
Yeah.
kids. It's for kids. So, Keith, I don't think you're bringing kids with you to the meet, but if you have kids, it is for sure the place to go. It's just like a big city park that has a bunch of parks, playgrounds, rides, attractions that are all themed after different.
It's pretty awesome if you have kids.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh yeah. My
it's,
boy, we lived not too far from it when I lived in Aberdeen, and my boy loved it. Like we'd go there every weekend. Like it was so much fun for him. So
you can go there every weekend. And
oh yeah,
like
because
the
it's
kids
free
will
to
still
go to.
repeatedly-
It's free to go
yeah.
to. Is the other thing that's awesome. So yeah, like, and when we go back to Aberdeen, he is excited to go back there again. Like he thinks it's great. So yeah, it's just a big attraction for kids in Aberdeen. But okay, did you see this? How supposedly Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk were going to cage fight, Tanner?
I did see.
Okay.
I did see that. I caught some. I saw memes going around. I didn't know what it was, so I had to actually look up what is going on about this, and I kind of got the backstory on it.
Okay, so that's not what I'm going to bring up here. But is that, just on a side note, is that still on, or did that get called off?
I never had seen that it was confirmed going to happen. All I had seen at the time was that Dana White was saying, yes, Dana White has talked to both of them. They have both said, yes, I want to do it. But I didn't know. Does Musk train any mixed martial arts? Like, does he train at all?
I don't know if he does, but Mark
Because
Zuckerberg actually does
does.
train, doesn't he? Yeah.
He actually, I think, is like competent in BJJ.
Mm-hmm.
So he would destroy him because
absolutely.
just anyone that's like, you take two relatively equal sized people and one of them that's
I
trained
mean,
a
not
little bit,
even
like,
relatively equal size. Like you could be bigger and fatter. And you're
right?
still gonna
Yeah,
get
right. For
destroyed.
sure.
Like it's-
For sure.
Okay, but along those lines, so I saw something else that is even more relevant to our industry and also very funny, because tech CEOs are on the prowl. They're trying to see who can be the most alpha, of the group here. Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky says he'll challenge any leader in tech to bench press.
Really?
So I really want to know how much this guy benches, and I tried looking a little bit, and I couldn't find what that is.
What's his name?
Brian Chesky, Chesky.
I want to. Does he look like he?
I don't know. I mean,
Does he look like he could bench anything?
oh, well, this says, if this is correct, a 2001 NPC Teen College Nationals pump room photo here. If this is actually him, then, I mean, he is fairly jacked, but that was also, if this is correct, 2001. A lot can change in 22 years.
Oh yeah, I can see. It certainly looks like he's lifted before.
Yeah, so I'm genuinely
It doesn't
curious.
look like he benches that much though.
That's why I'm very curious. Like what that number is. Like is his mind? Okay, I can bench 275. That's more than any of my CEO peers. Is that
I wouldn't
number?
be confident that this guy can bench 3 plates.
Yeah,
so.
like is that number 3 plates? Is he going to surprise us? And is that number 400? I have no idea.
Right.
So
Now that's the competitions we need. That's how all business should be.
I know. More business dealings decided by just who can outlift someone else.
Big Alex wants to know if you would be considered a leader in tech that you could go up bench up against him.
That's a good question. I will throw my hat into the ring, good sir.
I think it'd be good publicity for Tommy D Creative.
Oh, I'd take that challenge all day. Let's go. It's even if I get destroyed, it's only a win-win, Boy, I never thought of that. Maybe I am a leader in tech.
I don't know why you. I mean, you throw in Massenomics.
I've
all the tech stuff we do
been
with
running the
Massenomics.
Massenomics website. I mean, just that website alone for like 8 years. I mean, what is that? If that's not a leader in tech, I don't know what is.
Me either. You know what I'd like to tell you a little bit about is supporting our supporting members. How's that sound?
Sounds incredible.
Okay. This is a segment we do on the podcast every week for quite a while now. It is a relatively new segment, though, still, and it's a new and growing segment, and shit's just been popping off on supporting our supporting members. A lot of stuff to talk about, and what this is we have our supporting members that support the Massenomics podcast monetarily, you can do that too. You can log onto our website and get signed up if you'd like to. We got several different levels and options there where you can choose to get in on, but any of those will get you access to our very active online Discord community. You can listen to the podcast live once you sign up that you can't otherwise if you're not a supporting member. You also get early access on things like new drops. You get early access to the new drops, and you get just a lot of inside info, a lot of inside baseball that others are not getting. So we'd love to have you sign up, and then also every week we give back to these people by supporting them through this segment. This week, Big Ryan and Big Chad GPT had a crew meetup. I don't know if you saw those pictures.
I did see those pictures.
And I think, if I remember right, Big Ryan was wearing the Jefferson Deadlift original black tee, and Big Chad was wearing the Raise Hell tee, I think?
Yeah,
if I remember right.
That might sound right. Yeah.
And I said rules of crew meetup. Whoever's wearing the older Massenomics tee design is the first to initiate conversation. Yeah. Although it can be trumped with a supporting membership ID card. Whoever has the lowest number, if someone comes and they have a newer tee design than the other person, so the other person thinks that they've won and they get to lead the conversation, they can trump them if they have a lower numbered supporting member ID card.
You're their senior now.
Yes. Yes, and they kind of are required to do whatever you ask of them.
They report to you.
It's a blood oath, essentially.
Yes.
So those two met up. I always love a good crew meetup. That was fun to see. And speaking of crew meetups, Big Brad competed in a Highland Games competition this last weekend. He said it was his best comp to date. He had a couple PRs, and he turned the caber. And it's relevant to a meetup because Big Dodzilla was there. Scott Dodds.
Yes, I did see that too.
So those two got to meet up, and supporting member number 1, Scott Dodds, was meeting up with Big Brad. So that was good to see.
So don't even try to one-up him. He is number 1.
He was number 1. It's a SpongeBob SquarePants reference. Then Big Zach Barcroft had a powerlifting meet in Illinois where he hit a 1570 total, and he said that was a post-surgery PR for him. So well done, Big Zach, on the big total.
That's an awesome total.
Not messing around there.
He only weighed 120 pounds too, right?
Yeah, 100 even, 47 kilogram class. And speaking of not messing around, Big Nick had his third ever powerlifting meet. He went 7 for 9 with a 501 squat, 346 bench, and a 573 deadlift for a 1422 total. That was a 33-pound meet PR. Very nice, well-rounded numbers there. Last but not least, Big Murph was the guest this week on our sister podcast, Unpaid and Underrated. So make sure to give that a listen.
Good stuff.
Thank you, supporting members. Do we want to hit any ads up now? Do you think is it ad 30 or not?
Just about, I suppose.
Okay. Well, I'll do an ad, and then if we've got several other topics here, so if we need to, if we want to kill a little time after that, we can still get to a couple of these little zinger of topics that we've got hidden in here. So this week, I'm going to tell you about the Strength Co., who will be at the Massenomics Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic Powerlifting Meet
in person
in just a few weeks.
And they're bringing people with them, too.
Yeah, there's Big Ron's coming, I think.
Is he?
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, I think Big Ron told me he's coming.
That's awesome. I love it.
Also, who else is coming? Big D, of course, is coming.
Mm-hmm. You told me, was it Ryan?
No, I don't know that Ryan's coming. Big Connor's coming. That's right.
Is he? Connor's coming too? Oh,
Big Connor's coming. Yeah,
awesome.
That's for sure. Big Connor's coming. So, yeah, there will be a crew of Strength Co. people there this week. And they're having a booth set up. And there will be, let's see if I'm remembering everything. There's at least 2 limited edition Massenomics specific items that they will be selling at the Strength Co. booth that I think people are going to be pretty excited about. And if I could tell you any teaser about the items that they'll have for sale at the event, it'll be they're going to pop. These items they have are gonna pop, and boy will they pop hard.
Teasing me right now.
Yeah, yeah. So they're gonna be popping, pop, lock, and dropping there at the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. Then of course the Strength Co. Check them out on their website. That's where you can buy our go-to plates. The go-to plates, the made in America best iron plates that money can buy. And they've got those greatly reduced shipping rates here in 2023. They found a loophole in the shipping system.
Mm-hmm.
So all of you can get your plates even cheaper, just as fast as ever, made in America as ever, the Strength Co.
And this episode is also brought to you by Barefoot Shoes. Most shoes harm your mobility by over-restricting your foot's natural movement. Barefoot shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so your feet can move the way they're supposed to. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Barefoot Shoes was founded by Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to his success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to www.barefoot.shoes to check out the best minimalist shoes available. And while you're there, make sure to use code Massenomics to save 10% on your next order. That's barefoot.shoes. Code Massenomics is going to save you 10%. Thank you, Barefoot Shoes.
Their shoes.
And just like that, our guest just popped in. So should we get this
Perfect
rolling
timing.
here?
Yeah.
It's like you summoned her with that bear call there.
She heard their shoe. I said their shoes. Oh, okay. I better get on here. Their shoes.
All right, I just gotta kick everyone out now.
You're giving people the old axe, then, are you?
They're getting the barefoot boot.
Okay, yeah, the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. How many days out is that? We're looking at
we're under 30, aren't we?
23, 24. I think we're about 24 days out now is all. So we're just a see here over 3 weeks.
We didn't mention our billboard at all.
Oh, yeah, gosh.
Maybe that
requires... We talk about that more later too?
We should. Do you want to maybe write that one down so we don't forget?
Yeah. Got to put it. If it's not on the list, we might forget.
There's a very good chance we'll forget.
We definitely got to talk about that new billboard. Billboard numero 4.
Mm-hmm. Back with a vengeance.
Back in billboardier than ever.
Okay. They're all out.
Finally.
Now.
Lindsay, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Awesome. You are on the Massenomics podcast, so
what?
This is
Someone call my
probably
mom.
It's probably the best day of your life, we would assume.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I made it. Like I said, I'm gonna call my mom as soon as I get off here. So
she's gonna be so.
What the hell are you talking about?
She's like, you did what? I told her I was competing in South Dakota. She's like, what? Why would you do that?
What has happened wrong in your life here?
That's really far.
She's like, we need to have. Do we need to sit down and have a talk? Are things all right? No. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, and definitely coming to South Dakota is going to be one of our favorite things to talk about. But first thing first, we spend a lot of time. Well, actually, we spend a lot of time on our podcast talking about absolutely nothing. But one of the things we like to talk about is how words are pronounced, and we say some things funny, is what people tell us sometimes, that we talk kind of in a funny way up here in South Dakota.
That's one of the first things I noticed about you. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, we get that, and it's that's all right. We lean into that. We like that. But so your name, does everyone just say Lindsay?
Lindsay, yeah.
Okay, because it's spelled a little bit differently than what
I know. It has an A.
So how often do people say Lindsay?
It's happened before, but more often people just spell it incorrectly, and they're like, oh, like they spell it with an E. So they're just like, yeah, you're just, obviously that's made up. That can't be right. So I fixed it for you. But really, I think my mom was just drunk. So
we've all been there before.
Yeah, I asked her, I was like, why the A? She's like, I don't, she couldn't give me a reason. So
yeah, I get it though. Naming kids can be hard. We're having our fourth one, and I'm like, we kind of used all our good ones already, so I don't know what we got
this
left.
kid's getting the bottom of the barrel. Sorry about your luck. I practiced when I was pregnant. I was like, how embarrassed am I embarrassed to say this out loud?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
That's
that's a
kind
good
of my
test.
guide.
Yeah.
There's so many things to consider when you're coming up with a name though too, and you're like, what does it rhyme with? Like that other kids could say.
Like what kid did you not like, or was the bully that had that name?
one.
Like it's like
someone you didn't like from 30 years ago.
How tainted is that name in my life experience? Like that was a thing for me too. It makes it tough.
So you're coming to South Dakota. That's not a joke then. You're really going to do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. Well, I'm so excited to compete. I think it's going to be really fun. Plus, I've never really been that far over before. Like, I've never been that far west. Have I? Where's Kansas City in relation to you guys?
They're actually
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're almost straight north.
We're west
of us.
a little bit.
Yeah, we're west of them a little bit. Not far, but a little bit. Yeah.
So that's the farthest west that I've been. So,
but we're quite a ways north from there, so it's still a little different than Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm excited. I still don't know what to expect. I don't know why it costs $1 million to get there, but apparently you guys are really fancy. So
yeah,
it
could be the whole thing.
Tommy, why would you say it costs so much to fly to Aberdeen? So where are you flying into? What city?
Well, I changed it because I tried to fly into Aberdeen, and they were like, "That'll be $8,000, please." And I was like, "All right." So I did Fargo. Someone told me to fly into Fargo.
Yeah, so flying into Fargo or Sioux Falls isn't too bad, and they're both about the same drive away. So either of those are better options, yes. But to fly into Aberdeen can get super expensive.
I mean, you used to be able to get lucky with Aberdeen and like find flights that were in like the, I don't know, $500 to $600 range. And now I don't mean, can anyone ever get into Aberdeen for like less than $1,000 now? Is that even a thing, Tanner?
Well, I did just ours to DC and back were like $600 a piece. Actually,
really?
We just caught we caught really good timing on that though, because at other times they were like $1,000 a piece. So yeah, it's because I guess you're not flying into the airport, so you won't see it. But if you flew into the airport, you'd understand kind of why it's
the airplane has 2 seats on one side and 1 on the other. So it's like it's a very small airplane. So like when you go on it, like, I mean, you could go on it and people be like, "Oh, are you here for the Massenomics Power?" Like people would be like, you come into town and people,
they would know.
Yeah. People have like flown into town for Massenomics stuff before. And they're like, "Oh, you have a Massenomics shirt on. We know those guys." And they'll start talking because it is so small, you know?
It's like the one I fly into when I go home to Ohio. It's Rickenbacker, which is like I think it's an army base there, and there's a separate airport, and it has 2 gates. Like you can stand at one end of the airport and see the other gate, and that's it. That's all there is. But for some reason, it's extremely cheap to fly in there. I think because it's actually awful, and they know that. So they're like, "We're gonna make it terrible, but like, it's cheap."
Yeah. See, and we only have 1 gate, so that one's twice as big as ours, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah,
I gotta
puts us
tell
to
them
shame.
that. They'll be really excited.
Like, oh, we beat somebody.
Yeah.
Tommy, who do you think has longer hair, you or Lindsay?
That's actually, well, hers looks pretty long right now and it's wavy, so I would say hers is probably longer, but mine is pretty long.
I feel like that's the first thing I noticed about you when I think I saw you guys in Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first thing you said was, "Do you love to lift?" I was like, "How did you know?"
Yeah. Oh, you're spoiling one of my jokes from the podcast here. Actually, I wanted to do that again. I hope you didn't. I was hoping you didn't remember that.
Sorry, my bad. Spoiler alert! I didn't even spoiler alert it.
Yeah. So yeah, do you in fact still love to lift? Then that hasn't changed.
That has not changed yet. So still my favorite thing to do in my pastime.
Has anyone else ever asked you that before? Like a terrible dad, the same terrible
I
dad
don't
joke?
think so. I think you're the only one.
Wow.
Yeah.
We thought for sure you're like, "Oh, this joke again." Like,
yeah.
No. I think it's just, they just assume because it is part of my name.
Yeah.
I don't put my last name on my bio. It's not in there because I just never had. And so when people will send me things, like if a company sends me something, if they don't ask, they'll just actually address it to Lindsay Loves to Lift.
Yes. Yeah. Do you do that on purpose? Like you said, you just because you've never put it in there, but do you prefer to like have it be like a little less public, or like, I mean, do you keep it off of there intentionally?
I don't remember the initial intention for it. I just never put it in there. I don't know, I guess to have, because my regular, I have another Instagram that has like 900 people, and it's just like private, like my family, where I post all of my kids' stuff. And it's on that one. And I think I didn't want, because that one wasn't always private. So I think I didn't want people going over to the other one, and like, because my kids were on there. So
Yeah. That one's called Lindsay Loves to Do Stuff Other Than Lifting Too.
right. Lindsay loves to exist. And then it's just like me. It's just like Camilla bossing me around and stuff. So
Yeah. So why did you, we're, first of all, not saying this in a way like, hey, why did you do this? We don't want you here. We're stoked that you're doing the meet, but just curious what was the deciding factor to get you to sign up for the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic?
well, I was invited. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it sounds like a blast. I'm young. Well, I've only ever had good interactions with you guys, so I just assumed it would be great.
I think it's gonna be great. So I don't think you'll be disappointed. Hopefully, I don't think anybody that's gonna come is gonna be disappointed. So
I think
should be a lot of
awesome.
fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's for sure going to be. I mean, it's going to be an awesome group of lifters and spectators. So yeah, on that side, it's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, and then it's an XPC now, so that's exciting, because then I think you can qualify for the Arnold that way, right? And then I'll get to lift. I will get to lift at home, or in my home state at least, if I qualify, which I think I will.
What do you have to do to qualify?
I think I just have to. I think as long as I don't go backwards, I should be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is
So,
always
like,
the goal,
so it's
right?
very
Not going
doable.
backwards.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell.
So were you at the Arnold? Did you go to the Arnold this year?
I did not.
Okay.
Somehow something weird always happens. I think this year I had to be there. I don't remember why I didn't go this year. Something always falls in a weird way where I have like another obligation that I can't seem to get out of.
Have you been to the Arnold before?
Like before it was very big. I went to the
Really?
Arnold in like, I want to say like 2009,
Oh,
2010,
so it's been a long
somewhere
time.
around there. So it's been forever since I've went. And then it was just like you leave with a ton of supplements and stuff like that, but it wasn't what it is now
Right.
when I went. But it
Yeah,
just
it's
always falls in a weird way. It just like, I can't remember. I think my grandma died once, and I was like, God, Nancy, could you just be a little more considerate here? And then, and
Old
I
people.
had those fucking old people. Like, it's like, could you just consider my feelings for a second?
Yeah. There's this convention with a bunch of my kind of lifting friends that I'd really like to go to.
No, it just never works out timing wise.
So you'll be going in with a bang then if you're competing in the XPC event.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And then I have like a ton of family in Columbus, so it'll be very easy too.
Yeah, that's cool. So we were just talking about, I think we're a little over 3 weeks away from meet day.
Yeah,
it's like
I didn't
24
realize
days.
that.
Yeah.
Getting close.
Yeah. So how's training going?
It's going really well. I actually beat my training total beat my regular total last week. So I'm like, as long as I don't mess anything up, I should be in good shape.
Yeah. So you're as strong right now as you've ever been then, is that right? Is that what you'd say?
Yeah, things are feeling pretty good. And I'm less beat up actually this prep, which is awesome, because I feel like the last two I've had something weird happen, whether it was like my lumbar, my hip. So this time I'm just like, nobody do anything stupid.
Or don't just sleep wrong one night randomly.
Right.
Like, wow,
Don't
I'm hurt
sneeze.
now. Yeah.
Don't cough. Nothing.
So have you hit, you said your training total exceeded already. So have you hit your heaviest numbers already, or do you have heavier to go?
I think so,
still?
yeah.
Okay.
I think I have one like heavy squat left, which I never squat what I'm going to hit in the meet. I think my highest squat last time was 385 in my last prep, and I hit 424. I just hit 395 in prep, and I don't know what I'll hit at the meet, but that's really the one, because I'm wrapped. So that's like the one that is the most work and the biggest pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
So once that's over, I'm like, all right, the rest is just doing what I've been doing forever.
Yeah. Do you have specific numbers in mind, or do you not like to give yourself
I
bad
never
juju
do
and
that.
talk about that?
I actually don't ever pick my own numbers. So I always have, I think yeah, the last, I want to say 5 meets, my coach has been there, and I don't even like to know what's on the bar. Like, please don't tell me what's on there. Luckily, I'm
Yeah.
not great with kilos, so even if I
Yeah,
see
it's
the
nice
thing,
because
I'm
it's
like,
like I don't
yeah,
really
don't
have
even
to
know.
try
that
not to
means
know. I just can't
nothing
tell.
to me.
Yeah, right.
But he'll be like, don't announce it. Like, she's a psycho. Just, there's 135 on the bar.
So is he going to be there, or he or she, whoever your I'm not sure who your coach is. So, but are they going to be there to do that in a few weeks?
Not this one.
Okay.
So I just have pals. I'll just have pals call the numbers for me. I said this is the range. I'll go in with a plan. Obviously, Michael De La Pava is my coach. I'm like, just he'll sit me down with a plan. I won't look at it. I will give it to someone who will take care of it for me.
Who's going to
That's my
wrap your
strategy.
knees? Do you know who's going to wrap your knees yet?
I have a couple people that can help me out. I'm not sure who. I have a
Okay.
couple people pinned down. So
Okay. Because
it'll be that
that's something
day.
you don't want to leave to
Yeah,
a
I already have
random
multiple.
stranger.
Yeah, there's a few
Right, I have
variables there.
multiple options. I have
Yeah.
multiple options. So I'm just like I have like already cleared a couple people like, hey, if I need you, can you wrap my knees that day? Like I need a definite yes. And I have a couple people that can do that. So
Yeah.
it'll be all right.
If you get in a pinch and need someone, Tommy and I will not offer our services because
Don't-
we're not good knee
Do
wrappers.
not ask us.
That would be way too much pressure for me. But we could find somebody
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. If you were
that knows
asking
what
us,
they're
I'd
doing.
be like, wow, a lot of things have gone wrong right now for this to happen.
It's okay. I will keep that in mind. I'll write that down. Just
Yeah.
definite no.
Yeah, we could for
And-
sure get on the mic and be like, someone wrap Lindsay's knees. She needs
Yeah.
this.
Zero.
If you need help of like how to put on knee sleeves, we're your guys.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes to
Awesome.
wraps,
Or these days, you just need help getting them off.
Right, yeah.
true. So do you usually compete in wraps then? I mean, is that your preferred?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a rep squatter. I haven't done a sleeved meet since I want to say like 2018, I think. And actually, yeah, 2018. That was like the perfect storm meet, the first meet I ever did that wasn't a USAPL meet. Because it was right down the street. It was Here's and it was overbooked. And we were there until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oof.
And I was used to USAPL, which takes like 4 hours. So I had like one meal. I was ready to be gone by like 1 p.m. It was so bad.
So at the meet here in a few weeks, lifting hard is really only half of the battle. The other half is the living easy, and that's where like the after party and everything comes in. So hopefully you've been training for that as well.
I'm actually I don't know how well my training for that has been going, but my actual training really hinders my living easy.
Yeah.
But I'm doing my best. I hope that I can keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right after a meet is the perfect time to live easy though.
It is,
actually.
yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, and I won't have the girls with me, so I can't actually live easy without like someone asking me for a snack or anything, you know?
Yeah, when you don't have kids around, the living easier. It is easier.
It
you
is
can live
easier.
way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. We can all relate to that. Unfortunately
Wow, do you need
for me,
another
mine all
thing?
live here, so
Yeah.
we're gonna,
Yeah, Tanner cannot escape it. It's
yeah. I'll still find a way to live easy though, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So you're originally from Ohio, you live in Florida.
Yes.
Both interesting states. We also talk a lot of geography on the podcast. And both interesting states in their own way.
the first
What
question.
I've heard.
Well, the first question would be, Tanner, though, would be, do you consider Ohio the Midwest?
Oh yeah.
I'm so glad you asked because I feel like Ohio starts the Midwest.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
The
See,
silence.
For us,
So
it feels
loud.
like Ohio's the end of the Midwest, because we're looking at
Right,
it from the other
right.
direction. But I do get what
Okay,
you're
yeah.
saying there. I do get what you're saying. It is the border. Like, it definitely does not go east of Ohio. That without a doubt.
No, definitively nothing east of Ohio. I could even consider cutting part of Ohio off probably for what.
Like that border of West Virginia, we don't even like to
Yeah.
send them, so I
Yeah.
get it. But
Well, here would be my follow-up question. Do you consider South Dakota in the Midwest? I mean, you haven't been here, but you've seen a map probably before. Like, does it not, if you're an Ohio native,
And someone
transplanted
asks
to
you
Florida,
to name Midwest states, is South Dakota going to enter your list?
Man, I never thought of that. Actually, I forget that you guys are there sometimes. But I feel like, yeah, we have to include you. We have to
Yeah.
include you. Although because I don't think that there is a name for those northern ones, so you just get lumped in with the Midwest regardless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we like Tommy and I definitely have always considered ourselves very Midwest, but it wasn't until like we really got to talking about this on the podcast and talking about it with a whole bunch of people that a lot of other people were like, "Well, you guys aren't in the Midwest."
Well, where
And
did they say you were?
I think just west,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
I
they
don't
just
really
say
know.
west,
Like,
yeah.
like
West. Some people
Like
kind
more
of
like
said mountain
Montana.
states, but
Yeah.
like we're there's no mountains on our
we're
side
the
of the
flattest.
state. The other side
we're
of
the
state has
flattest
mountains.
place you could find.
I don't
I
know
think
what I would call you guys up there, but I mean, I feel like everything is the Midwest, and then you get to like, I don't know, what's just west?
just west of us, it would be like where you get to like Montana,
Like
Colorado,
yeah, like
Wyoming and stuff. And those
So
like
those are
aren't
out west.
Midwest. Yeah, those are like Western
Okay.
states. That's like the
Yes.
start of mountain states or Western states. Like they all have like Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, they have a more similar vibe, and our vibe is not like those places, I don't think.
Yeah, because they're wrong.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yes. So what I've heard people say before that it's like Florida is the Ohio of the South. Do you think
Agreed.
that's correct? Okay.
I felt
So you,
I felt at home here immediately, though I will say it's more the East Coast is definitely more like Midwest. Like Daytona is like being at home, but with a beach and a very big track.
you're saying like
Right.
the east coast of Florida is more Midwest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then the other side is a little bit bougier. So it's not
Okay.
very Midwest. But I will say overall, like in general, when I first moved here, because in the Midwest, you just kind of do the smile thing when you walk by
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
And like no one in Florida does that. They were very confused. They're like, is she unwell? Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong?
She has a facial tick.
Okay,
Yeah.
like that's actually now I've never actually thought of that before. I just assume everyone did that everywhere. That's never really
No.
crossed my mind.
Not here. The Southern
be somewhat
hospitality is
relieved.
not here.
Okay. I'd be somewhat relieved to be able to stop doing that. Maybe if everyone was in on not doing it, then it's not impolite to not do
Right,
it.
yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like,
Everyone's
oh,
just
good.
agreed.
We don't have to do that anymore. Yeah.
This is very much a culture shock, though, when you
Yeah.
are very accustomed to it. I'm like, oh no, what did I offend them?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you would carve out like Miami is its own thing almost kind of too. Like if you get far enough south in Florida, that's separate vibe too.
Miami, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a night.
Yeah.
There's
then-
so many lanes. Why do you need that many lanes? I think I would like to not Miami.
Yeah. And then Tommy, you were just in the
I was
what
just in
part of the state?
I was just in the Panhandle in Destin on a little vacation, and that was
Oh, nice.
that felt like Alabama. I told Tanner, like I've never been to Alabama, but everyone down there talked like they were from Alabama, so it felt like I was in the South.
Yeah, I've only been to the Panhandle once, and it was like a long time ago before I even moved to Florida. But I would agree that it's got its own little like, yeah, Florida is very like different, like regional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, surprisingly big actually. We do live in a big state up
Mhm.
here, but yeah, you get to Florida and it is surprisingly big still.
It is, yeah, because it takes me 4 hours to get to Miami. Like it's just a straight shot south, but it's 4 entire hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a drive.
on a scale from 1 to sturdy AF, how sturdy are you?
I'm sturdy. Now, I wasn't always sturdy.
I kind of like that descriptive word. It's kind of fun, and I
Uh-huh.
see you run with that a lot. And what does sturdy mean to you? Would you say?
So because I was so tiny when I started powerlifting, I was a 132, and I was so tiny, and I was just very like, I kept breaking because I was just not very sturdy. So we, like, I had a stupid strength. I was kind of strong for being that tiny, but I kept moving poorly, first of all, and hurting myself. But so like gaining weight with Ryan was really, really important, and like just growing in that way, and getting like heavier. So we made it like a whole thing, like a whole goal, like, hey, you just really need to move up to a 148 and like fit there. Because I think at 1.2 I was competing at like 136, but I never really cut down to 132. I would just go in as a very light 148. So like filling out the 148 weight class was the goal, and that was where like that sturdy came from.
I feel like that's a super Midwest description for how to for how to say something is it's sturdy. Yeah, it's sturdy.
That's
That
good.
ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Give it a couple slaps. Yeah.
Real sturdy.
That ain't going nowhere. Yeah. That's right.
So were you strong, like, just even when you just like dipped your toes into lifting for the beginning? You kind of made a comment there. Like, did you like have you naturally came to some of that too, or what?
I thought that I was very strong.
Yeah,
I truly believe that. I always felt like I had a pretty good squat. Like I think my first meet I squatted 275, and I was really happy with that. I was like 300's right around the corner. It wasn't, but that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I squatted like as wide as an equipped lifter. But I thought so. And I did like a local USAPL meet and won, and I got third. And because I knew nothing, like when I tell you I knew nothing about powerlifting, I knew nothing. So I was all excited, and I was like, I'm obviously the third best in the whole state. Like that's what this means. I clearly won third in the state of Florida. And then I slowly realized that meant very little.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad that I didn't go in knowing anything, because then I didn't have like these weird expectations of people, I didn't have the right shoes or the right belt or the right this or whatever. I just didn't know any better. Like I didn't even have knee sleeves my first meet. I did not know what they were for.
I feel like there is part of that that's nice when you're a little bit newer. Like, I don't know, Tommy, the first meet we did was in like 2015 or something like that, or 2014 maybe. Mm-hmm. And like powerlifting was slightly like,
it was so different then. I mean, like Instagram,
like people didn't have cool powerlifting shoes. Like they didn't really even quite exist yet. And like the equipment stuff just didn't matter. Like most people's knee sleeves were like the blue reband.
Yeah, your options for equipment were like reband, and then if you wanted a belt, it's like you got insert, or maybe there were some people that had a Titan belt. Like that was like the world of equipment at the time, you know?
You just don't know you didn't know what you were ignorant to.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it is kind of nice.
Great.
Yeah, it is nice.
Your choices were like Converse shoes, or maybe someone was crazy and had like heeled shoes of some kind. Like, or wrestling shoes.
Or like wrestling shoes.
Yeah, like that was it, basically. That was the world then.
Yeah, and then sometimes like I for sure included, like I'm talking about myself here, like you can get not all that much better, but you start to think you need these things to do what you were already doing without those things. You're like, oh no, I really need these nicer knee sleeves. I don't squat any more than I did in the shit ones. And like I don't squat anymore in the shoes, but I need these now. Like now I can't do it without them.
They feel real nice. So.
Well, that's always our joke. Is like, it's finally, now I can finally get strong now that I have, whatever that piece of equipment is. This is what's been holding me back the last 10 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. So your competition deadlift is sumo, right?
It is. I had to I pulled conventional my last meet because I had trained conventional for all that time when I had that hip issue.
Okay.
And sumo was like really the thing that was pissing it off really bad. So we had trained, and then I talked to Dr. Andrew Locke helped me big time to get around that pain so I could squat pain-free, which was amazing. But I had already been training and prepping conventional the whole time. So I did a couple pulls sumo, and I was like, this feels like absolute trash, because it had been like 8 months. So I didn't want to change that at the end of the prep, because I think it was like 5 weeks out, 4 weeks out, something. It was pretty close. So instead of changing anything, I was just like, screw it. I'll pull some, as long as I pull over 4, I'm happy. I still beat my prior total. And then no one was mean to me on the internet for like 8 entire months. So that was great.
Okay. So that's what I kind of want to ask you about. I feel like people that power lift, if you actually compete in powerlifting, I don't know, maybe I'm giving people too much credit, but I feel like people that really compete or really actually understand powerlifting, they don't give a shit. Like nobody, like maybe it's a joke of like, sumo's cheating, but like real lifters don't actually care or think about that. But then like this week, we were talking about it earlier. We made a silly video out of Heather Connor at IPF World. She hit a deadlift world record. She pulled 440, I think.
Oh,
yeah, whatever. Or, yeah, maybe it was 419. Whatever it was, it was close to 200 kilograms. Whatever it was crazy awesome lift, and we've had her on the podcast before, and she's cool and everything like that. And we shared this video, and we actually shared a couple different things, and they both went a little bit viral. You know, they both had millions of views and getting thousands of comments, and we kind of live in this bubble where we usually get like actual real lifters commenting on things, and they make a joke about sumo being cheating, or, you know, just a dumb comment. We make dumb comments all the time, so we're used to that sort of thing. But this got out to all these people that actually don't know about lifting, and I start all these comments. I mean, it's crazy. I forget that there's all these people out there, like way more of the people that think sumo really is cheating, or, oh, that's only a 6-inch range of motion, that doesn't count, or look how wide her legs are, that's not a real lift. Like, does that actually count? And all this stuff. So
put your legs together. Put your legs together. Like, tell your mom to put her legs together. Like, I just don't. What is your problem? Like, I love it when people will say, like, do a standard deadlift. I'm like, you don't even know what it's called, and you're trying to correct me. Like, sir, have several seats, please. But I forget. I do the same thing. Like, I forget, like, because I'll be excited, and then I have tried so many different ways. Like, I've tried being a dick back, and I've tried being like a little bit more gracious back, and no matter what, the ignorance stands. So I'm like, I give up.
So do you
give up.
Do you still get a lot of that on your post though?
Oh yeah, there's always one. And then, like I said, I didn't realize for a while until I switched back to sumo that I wasn't getting hateful and rude comments because I wasn't fully sumo. I mean, occasionally, because my bench arch isn't crazy. If I crop the setup, you can't, like, my arch isn't super high and my arms are so long that, like, I wasn't getting a ton of hate for that until recently. But the sumo always garners something, because for some reason deadlift videos just are, I think because it's the lift that most people recognize, and it's the lift that generally people have the most to say about, because not a lot of people actually squat, so they tend not to say anything about squat.
Right. They can't even have an opinion. They're like, I've never actually even done anything like that before. So
right.
But
so
I've
because
probably
it's so
deadlifted.
recognized.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
they get pissed. But there's always one, especially if for some reason it just like takes off, or I notice like the heavier they get, or heavy singles, all that stuff, like people get really, really offended by my wide stance conventional deadlift. I don't get.
I do think, especially after this week in the post and all the comments I see, it is like, to me, there again, like, people that are actually into lifting, women's powerlifting is exciting and very popular, and people like it. And to me, it's just powerlifting. I'm not really thinking about women's powerlifting and men's powerlifting and stuff like that. It's just, in the sport of powerlifting especially, they're very, like, I think they're very equal playing grounds, and like both get a lot of publicity and both are enjoying and stuff. But is like a sexist thing about it or something too, because all the it's like, it's not just a sumo deadlift, it's a woman doing sumo deadlifting seems to like drive people nuts too. And I don't really know why. The one post that went, I think it's like people are insecure or something.
I see a video of a woman, first she's deadlifting, and then she's sumo deadlifting, and then she's doing more weight than a guy could anyways, and they just feel threatened in so many ways that they just can't handle it. That's all I can think of what it is, you know?
I think that's what it is. I think even if it's not more than they can do, if it's somewhere in the
just in the ballpark,
right.
It's threatening.
They're like,
them.
whoa, that's not. But this is why I'm better than you, because that's a little too close for comfort. Hey, slugger, like let's talk about this.
Yeah,
more strength for me isn't less strength for you. It's not pie. We can both have it.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can both have a lot of it. Even the number of people that commented on those that like, oh, that's my warm up weight, and I'm like, dude, first of all, it's like 440.
She's the size of your legs. Sir.
That's what, like, there's so many reasons that comment is just like. That comment is so stupid. I can't even get into all of them, but I'm just like, I don't know. I got a little frustrated with that after seeing them, so many of them. I'm like, I thought we were kind of beyond that, but I guess not.
I did too. There was a short time, like I said, when I was like, wow, this is great. Maybe the internet's turning a corner, but it turns out the second you go wide, you
that's the thing. Once it gets wider, then
there's no peace.
But that's why we always take the stance that conventional is cheating too. They're both cheating. It's just Jefferson deadlifting is the only thing that's actually not cheating.
I've still never done a Jefferson deadlift.
Oh,
I feel like after the, you know what? Maybe at the meet, I'll just do it out. Is that a legal comp stance? Because I could just try it.
Actually, it's actually not.
Yeah,
I don't think but most of the rule, I don't know what the XPC rules say, but most of the rule books do say your feet have to be, that your
on
legs
the
have to
same
be
side.
behind the bar.
Yeah, on the same side of the bar.
Right.
Have you guys? Do you remember the hack squats from the floor?
Mm-hmm.
I have done those before.
See, those actually seem crazy to me. Like I don't get.
I think that's harder than the Jefferson.
Yeah, for sure.
Deadlift.
Maybe it's really difficult. It's really difficult to keep a hold of the bar, especially as it's coming up like right behind your glutes. That's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
They're fun though.
I just did some Jeffersons today because we have this Jefferson competition thing coming up. And to me, it really, like the way you put your feet, it reminds me a lot. It is more like a sumo deadlift where you just are around the bar. It's just your hands, your arm and hand position that's weird. Your legs
you can still
pretty
squat
much
it up even
to
more though, can't
right.
you?
Yeah. I think even more. Like for some people, it's advantageous. Like I think if you're a sumo deadlifter, the Jefferson deadlift maybe comes a little bit easier. I don't know.
What is the training like? Is the Jefferson just like prepping you for like a Denny stone or something? Like what is the reason?
There's so many reasons. We just wouldn't have enough. We wouldn't have enough time on this podcast to talk about all the reasons you would want to do a Jefferson deadlift. But that would be one. It's funny, who does them a lot is like the bodybuilders. You'll see like Kai Green.
There's always of Kai Green doing them. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, as a leg developer, but I don't know why you choose that exercise over all the other things you could do to develop your legs still too. But, yeah, I guess part of it is it maybe is a good social media engagement post sometimes too, because everyone goes, what is that
right. What is he doing?
But we like it to stop the sumo conventional argument. It's just like someone says, oh, sumo's cheating. Oh, conventional sucks. And we say, no, you're all wrong. We're just in the separate class over here with the Jefferson deadlift. Like distance ourselves from it. Yeah, that's right.
I feel like you're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. So talking about commenters and stuff like that, I don't know. I didn't do my homework and look through your Instagram comments to find out on this or not, but do you get very much muscle mommy talk in comments, which is a very popular thing right now? Do you see a lot of that on your posts?
Sometimes I see that, and honestly, it's become this like fun little thing between like female lifters. So, I get like my favorite one ever from Aya. She said muscle matriarch. That might be my favorite thing of all time.
Yeah.
But it's more, what I get the most of is because I'm always barefoot. I always get the foot guys. I get that the most.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the energy to try to censor a video. I'm like, well, here you go. Toes are free here. I don't know.
Yeah, I bet some guys get to your page and are probably like, this is the gold mine. Like
a treasure trove. Yeah. I just don't have the energy to try and figure out how to censor a moving thing.
Yeah.
So toes is free here.
I always forget that's a thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's entitled to like what they like, but I can't, that's the one of the, I think
because they are not sexual things to me, it doesn't compute as like, I should be offended. Because again, I'm like, you want to look at my Fred Flintstone feet, buddy. Listen, I look like I walked out of Jiffy Lube with these things. That's okay. But I just think that I don't have the energy. But when I had, first, people were very confused because they don't know that you can compete in the RPS barefoot.
Oh, so you can actually.
Yeah, you can compete. Okay. The RPS has that as a rule. You can be barefoot. I knew that. I found that out in 2019 when Jaffe forgot his deadlift slippers and he was competing, and he like kind of exploited that rule a little bit. And then so when I signed up for my next RPS meet, I was like, I am absolutely pulling barefoot or squatting barefoot. That was my biggest thing. But that's when people were like, what the hell? Why is she barefoot? Like, what is happening? And then I got so many like sweaty souls requests message requests, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna open that.
It's probably the safer way to do it. So I mean, just training barefoot for you, has that just always felt better, or what's your reasoning behind it?
Yeah, I've always been like I've always been a flats person anyway. Like I've never liked lifters. When I had a hip issue, I tried them. I've never liked lifters. I've always liked squatting in flats anyway, and then barefoot always feels the best because I can just feel the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
What about, do you have any hacks? We talked about it, you have kids also and you're very high level competitor. Seems like something that comes up a lot. Do you have any, how do you manage life being able to, have kids, have a family, still hit the gym, not miss any of that stuff? Do you have any tips or tricks for anyone that?
I think that you have to stop assuming that you're going to do it all and just do like what you can. And like it's the simplest answer is the answer. Like balance is probably bullshit. There's a pile of laundry back there that I like to call Mount Doom that I'm not going to touch today, probably not tomorrow. Like
you just pull whatever you need clean out of it. That's the system.
Exactly. Are they wearing clean clothes? All right, then a win is a win. But it's like the all or nothing mentality that really kills people, because you can't get it all done. Like I made dinner tonight. Do you think I cleaned up after dinner? You'd be wrong. It's in the sink. But there are other more pressing things like podcasts. So
exactly, the important stuff. Yeah.
Stop thinking you're gonna do it all and just make the to-do list, cross off what you can, put the other crap at the top on the next day, and keep the ball rolling. I think that's what it is. Like parenting and doing anything in life is just keeping the ball rolling and making sure everyone's breathing at the end of the day. Were they fed? Are they breathing? Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, you did break it down pretty simply, but yeah, you are right. Those are kind of the main things. Like, because if they're not fed, like it, and everyone's life is going to be miserable when people are hungry. Like it just, you can't get around that one. And then
or you have the kid that's like, or there's a kid that's like my oldest one is like, she has lots of sensory issues and she doesn't love to eat. So at one point I'm like, listen, legally I have to feed you. Do you want some yogurt? Okay. Like, we don't do the dinner. We don't do the dinner battle here. It's like, did you eat something? Okay.
Well, I do not fight very hard on like a lot of times it's like, you need to eat something. I really don't care. Like today, I don't care what it is. Eat anything. I'm not like it doesn't even have to be this thing that's healthy. Like it just needs to be something.
Just some calories have to go in.
Yes.
Did you find that cracker on the floor under the couch? Have at it, kid. You ate something. Good. No, I don't do that battle because I'm like, when's the last time you heard of a kid, a cared for child actually starving? You haven't. They're gonna eat when they're hungry. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Pick your battles, I guess, is another tip that I have.
I think that's good.
Yep.
Okay. We have this game we like to play with every guest that we have on. Today is no exception. It's overrated or underrated, and we've got a special Lindsay Loves to Lift set of topics for overrated or underrated. You can elaborate as much or as little as you'd like to on the answer for each one. But what you have to remember is you can't ride the line. You have to determine if each one is over or under. And these are all
Sweden.
No.
Yeah, no.
These are all
no neutrality here.
No, and these are did you know someone in our Discord said this today? I think it was Big Kevin, to give him credit. The Swiss bar, bench, the Swiss barbell.
Yeah.
Oh,
I never knew that's called the Swiss bar because it's neutral grip, and it's Switzerland is neutral.
Oh my gosh!
Have you ever heard that before?
I
didn't know that was the reason.
Wow.
That's what he said, and I'm like, that actually makes sense. I've never heard that before.
I always wondered why it was called that, but that makes sense. Wow.
Crazy. So
thanks, Big Kevin.
Yeah, that's the more you know right there. Like that's a good, that blew my mind for a second. I'm like, oh wow, that actually makes sense. Okay. So these are always like, of course, super serious and about like politics and stuff, and we put you on the spot. So I hope you're ready.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So overrated or underrated choker necklaces?
Obviously they're underrated. I mean, they're so much fun. I actually love mine because I have a very fat neck, so it just gives it a little dimension. And then you can make it a game. Like, am I gonna break this one when I pack my neck? We don't know.
Yeah.
It's up to the gods. We'll see what they'll have today.
So
you have broken them before?
I think I've snapped like 5 or 6 at this point, and then I got the stretchy ones that are unbreakable, but they're not as cute.
Is it always?
Yeah.
Is it always? Does it always break during a lift? Is that when they go?
Oh yeah, it's always squat because I pull my neck back so far.
Okay. Overrated or underrated rope climbing?
I think they're obviously underrated. I mean, when's the last time that was a weakness for you? Like, if it is, you're in trouble when the apocalypse arrives, and I'm not waiting for you.
You'll be at the top of the rope already.
Yeah.
And like
I'm aerodynamic.
Like, no, you're screwed.
Yeah. Like sturdy and aerodynamic. You're zombie bait. Sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
Survival tips.
So
that's good.
Is that something that I mean, we've seen you post those obviously before, but like, have you been doing that for a while, or is that like were you in a CrossFit gym and got in on that, or how did that start?
And I was teaching aerobic boxing. We had a rope in there, and I just wanted to see if I could do it, and then I wanted to see if I could do it without my feet. And then it just became like a funny party trick.
It's like ripping a phone book in half.
Right? I'm like, oh, I hold my beer and watch this shit.
Oh, there's a rope here. How did this happen?
Okay. For the last couple, we get into the foot section of overrated and underrated, the feet stuff. So hope you got your Flintstone feet ready. Overrated or underrated Crocs?
Oh, come on. Crocs are super underrated. Crocs are the elite footwear. I mean, Squat University just said this. Didn't you guys see
Did
it?
he really?
I didn't see it. What did he say?
Did he actually say
Dr.
that?
Aaron Horschig, what did he say?
He said that some guy ran a marathon in Crocs because of the wide toe box. You know he's a toe box guy.
Oh yeah, he's all about the toe box.
Name a wider toe box than a Croc. So I just, I don't know. They're just so easy for me to get on, and I thought that they were hideous too. That's what's funny was like when they first rolled around, my dad has some, and my dad is like super Midwest. Like my dad is the Midwest, and he calls them his plastic shoes. And he he'd be like, "Go get me my plastic shoes." And I was like, "God, these are so hideous. I will never own these." And now I own like way too many pairs of Crocs.
So Crocs with barefoot or with socks?
So
or does it matter?
I'm in Florida, so I will wear socks with my Crocs if I need to, but usually without. But I do have a pair of like the fuzzy lined ones.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. So you can get really fancy with them.
You get fleece lined Crocs, and it's like you're wearing a socially acceptable. Well, are they socially acceptable? I don't know. They're they're basically slippers.
We were talking about it today though. Like we took the family, we went and got ice cream down the street, and every kid there has Crocs on. And we're like, I was talking about it with my wife. We're like, it wasn't that long ago that it seemed like the whole world was like in agreement that Crocs were not cool. And then it felt like there was somewhere in like the last 4 or 5 years that everyone's like, no, Crocs are good now. And just everyone wears them all the time.
We just changed our mind. I think like with little kids, it's just they're so easy to get on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My boy has them. He's always wearing his Crocs around.
My kids all wear them. On. So do you wear yours in 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive?
I'm usually in 2-wheel drive.
Okay.
Unless I'm doing stones, in which case I feel it's important to get 4-wheel drive involved.
Yeah. It's like putting on like that last elbow sleeve or like that last piece of equipment. It's like, oh, I have to flip this to 4-wheel drive. Now I'm good.
Serious.
Yeah. 1 second. Now I'm ready.
I've never put a pair of Crocs on.
I haven't either. I've never.
Nope, I don't even know what it feels like.
You don't have Crocs?
I've never even tried a pair of Crocs on before.
I haven't either.
Your children have Crocs. Why don't
they all have it? Yeah, I don't know.
Did you guys see my shark shoes?
No.
My cloud sharks are next. I need you guys to get off this podcast and look up cloud sharks or do it right now because I have a pair of those too, and they are obnoxious.
Cloud shark shoes.
How would
cloud
you?
Sharks.
I'm just typing it in right now. Like, are these the ones
They're
that actually
so much
look
worse
like,
than?
So are they kind of flip? They're kind of like flip flops that look like a shark's one.
It kind of looks like a Yeezy slide.
Slides.
Yeah, it looks like if you made a Yeezy slide look like a shark. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Well, I feel like my kids would love those.
Yeah.
Like my kids definitely need those.
They do, and they're really squishy. They feel like, you know, those boat keys that are like,
Oh yeah.
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 that's what
yeah.
they feel
It's kinda
like on
the,
your foot.
yeah, like the old koozies too, like beer koozies,
Right.
too,
Yes,
squishy like that
yes.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like walking on a koozie.
Hmm.
It's literally, it's joy. And they're funny.
yeah. They are attention
are
getting,
funny.
that's for sure.
Yeah. I feel like they look better than Crocs. That's my first impression.
Really?
I don't know. Something
I
about the
don't know.
holes in the Crocs. I think it's not really the material or the shape. It's like the Wisconsin cheese.
Well, but you can get, you can get the little pins that decorate the Crocs, so fill those holes, Tanner. Have you seen those?
Yeah, you're not selling me on that being better.
I mean, until you get to customize them, and then we're all excited. Like, let's be honest. Like, you would geek out if you had like a whole store. 'Cause we have a Crocs store here, and when you get in there and you like start getting into those little gibbets, is that what they're called? Gibbets.
Is it?
Yeah. You're like, wow, I am a genius. Clearly a design god, and just very validating.
This is really the feet section. So there is one more, and this is the last topic. So this is a lot rides on the line with this one. So overrated or underrated Doc Martens?
Oh, underrated.
Okay.
Docs are I love my docs.
Have you always been a Docs person? Because those have also kind of gone through some waves over the last decade.
In high school, were you a Doc? Did you have Doc Martens in high school?
I didn't have. I had the shorter ones though, like the ankles, not the
now
not
it's
the
the tall.
boot. And the tall ones are back too, but I had the short ones in high school and middle school.
Yeah, middle school.
Those were like my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had those.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone. Those are underrated for sure. I'm glad they're back, but I wish I was allowed to. They were a little bit too goth, and my mom was like, "Absolutely not. Who do you think you are?" So I had to get the short ones.
I remember at the time, I don't know, maybe they cost the same they did then, but like Doc Martens weren't cheap though either.
Then,
like weren't Doc Martens like 100 and
no, they were like 100, 110, I think. And I remember at the time thinking, shoes can cost that much money. It was like mind blowing, and now just all shoes cost that much.
But you're wearing these for the rest of your life, kid.
Yes, that's true. Yes,
I don't know.
I will be
guys,
wearing these
like,
for like 5 years. Yeah.
These are your shoes for the next 4 years. Same with my like one pair of Nike Shox. Those are your Nike Shox forever now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I don't still have them.
Well, that was always the reason I couldn't get them, because like now your feet aren't done growing. You cannot have those.
We're not
spend
getting
that
you the
money to
$100
have you
shoes,
grow out of them in a year. Like, so that was off the table for so long.
Yeah, but I think I stopped growing by that point. I wasn't getting much bigger after. I think I stopped growing in like 8th grade. I'm actually not very tall. People think I'm tall on the internet, and then they see me and they're like, "Oh, I thought you'd be taller." I'm like, sorry.
I think it's the thing if you see girls lift weights and you're just like, she must be huge. Like she's got to be huge. I think that's just like what your brain does.
And then the angle too. Plus the ceilings in Perfect Storm are very low. So I think I just, in comparison, look taller than I am.
I mean, what your average height for what? I don't even actually know what average means, but like, are you average height for a woman? What is the average height for a woman?
I think average is like 5'5", 5'6". I'm 5'4", so I'm not especially tiny, but I think people expect me to be a lot taller than I am. But I think 5'7" technically, or 5'9" is tall, 5'7" is average, somewhere around there, and then anything 5'4" and under they say is short. But I don't feel short, and I think a lot of people think that they're 5'7", and they're actually not.
Yeah. That's like,
they have their Doc Martens on.
They got weight. They got like they measured their height when they were wearing their docs, and they were like, "This is who I am now." And you just like pick a height at some point in your life, and you're like, "This is how tall I am."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like all guys. It's like, no, I'm just 6 feet. All guys say 6 feet.
Yeah, it's like 5'10", 6 foot. What's the difference?
Sure, you are, slugger.
Oh, I'm average. Yeah, good stuff. I think it looks like you passed overrated, underrated, so that's great news. Since you passed, we are going to let you still be in the meet. So,
thank goodness. Okay, I had a lot riding on that.
Yeah, that was important. It was pass, fail, and you passed, so you do get to still. We are allowing you to still make the flight to South Dakota.
Beautiful. See you guys there.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this is really good. I know you work with a lot of companies. Do you do stuff with bodybuilding.com? I thought that was particularly interesting too. That's kind of That's not something you
So-
see all that much with like, a lot in fitness, bodybuilding, maybe that sort of thing. But I don't know if there's that many people that I'd say are
not a
quote
ton in the
unquote
powerlifting
powerlifters.
space. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's only one other girl. Well, Steffi Cohen too, but she
Okay,
doesn't
yeah.
powerlift anymore.
Mhm.
But there's another girl named Haley that seems really sweet, and she competes as well in powerlifting, and she's also with bodybuilding.com. They expanded that team pretty significantly, and I think they had like a change of hands at some point. But yeah, they send great stuff. I have all the protein I need. Thank goodness.
I bet.
Yes. Okay. What else do you offer coaching then too? I think,
Yeah.
right?
I have one-on-one coaching. I have my Train Heroic app, which is just like kind of general strength programming, all via Train Heroic, which I love because it's a very affordable way for people to get stronger. And then I have Live Large that I work with, and
Never heard of them.
Cerberus.
Yeah, they're the
I
worst.
don't even know those guys.
Terrible.
And then Cerberus too. I just joined the team with them, and they're great. They have
they make a lot of really good
love.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They do. They make cool stuff.
They make really good sandbags too. You do a lot of sandbag. You do a lot of like strongman.
I
messing around
do,
stuff,
because my
too,
coach
so.
is a strongman, so I like to dabble. I was getting ready for a strongman, and then that's when my hip got busted up, and I was like, I don't want to be able to powerlift still, so I should probably stop this.
So
Yeah.
would you ever compete in that though someday?
Oh, I want to so bad. I love strongman. I wanted to make sure that I could still powerlift. I was getting ready for Miami's Baddest, and then I just stepped out from under a yoke, and my whole left side just kind of collapsed, and I was like, uh-oh. So we kind of recovered from that and then just slowly eased back into powerlifting. That's what took me so long to go back to sumo and all that. That actually happened under a yoke. So I wanted to compete in strongman. I still do. I just can't. I'm a little bit nervous, but I do a lot of things that like carried over well, like conventional. I still do wagon wheels. I still do stones and sandbags, carry stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think strongman's awesome and so fun and stuff, but the injury risk just is always higher because
So
there's
much
a lot
higher.
There's like a lot less controllable variables and like moving in all these different planes and obviously the odd objects. That's most of the times I got hurt. That's what it's from. But it's so much fun. It's hard not to go back to it still too, because it is fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. And a lot of my lifters were like, I want to try that. I'm like, we have a meet. Just wait a minute.
Yeah.
Simmer down.
Okay. Well, we are excited to see you in about 24 days. It's going to be a lot of fun. We feel like we're working on getting the final touches finished up. So Aberdeen should be ready for you.
All right. No pressure, but I'm coming.
Awesome. We expect to see you as sturdy as ever.
I will live up to this. I promise.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on and staying up and avoiding the dishes with us.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thanks a lot, Lindsay.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Well,
Cool beans. Cool beans.
Hit her with the double cool beans, didn't you?
Cool beans.
That was good. The meat's getting close, isn't it, Tommy?
It is. When you say 24 days, and by the time people are hearing this, it's like 20 days. Man, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, so the billboard went up to advertise the meet. It was our 4th billboard ever, and you haven't seen it yet in person. It actually
Not in person.
It's brand new. It is brand new, and it really pops. It really is attention grabbing, this new billboard.
I put it, you had the video. I put it on my Instagram story, and I had several friends that don't live in Aberdeen anymore that saw it, and they were like, wow, that is amazing.
It's really fun. I love the billboard thing is never going to get
I
old
just
to me.
think people just
They're
really don't believe, like, really, this kind
You
of
guys do
fake
that.
seeming
Yeah.
company has a billboard. Like, they just let anyone have those things, huh?
Yeah, anyone that will pay.
You're telling me if you cut a check, you can do almost anything? It's like, yeah, if you have the money,
It
you
is a
can
funny
do almost
thought.
anything.
Like, it has made me think before, like, for, one of my kids, like, 16th birthday, just to, like, really embarrass them or something.
I always
be a really
thought
fun
it'd be the
thing.
funniest prank.
Yeah.
To
yes.
just, if you and some friends pooled together, it's not that much money, especially in Aberdeen, South Dakota. If you and some
Right.
friends just pooled together some money, I mean, a billboard's pretty damn cheap. You could do the most ridiculous things on it, and as long as you're giving them the money, they'll let you do. Instead of putting like expletives or vulgar things, they'll let you do almost anything you want.
You do some fun and funny. You know what? I shouldn't give anyone this idea, but you know what I'm still waiting for is someone
else to put a billboard in our town.
Put a billboard up in Aberdeen. You know, someone not from Aberdeen. Like, you know, it would be the funniest thing if like Rascal Apparel put a jorts billboard in Aberdeen. I'd hate to even give them that idea.
Because we'd have to freaking start a billboard war with them.
But that, you know how funny that would be for them? Like, we're known for this billboard shtick in Aberdeen, and like, nobody from Aberdeen would get it, but that's the thing. Nobody from Aberdeen ever gets the billboard.
No,
like, it's just,
they don't get
it's
own
the
billboards.
internet.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's for the lulz on the internet.
Right. But this billboard is the billboard that makes the most sense out of all of the billboards we've ever had, because it is actually advertising an event in Aberdeen.
Yes, like this is like the one thing that, yes, we want to get people to show up and make this a really cool special event for people. So it did make sense to have this billboard roll into being a promotional item for the meet itself.
Yeah, it does. It's cool though. We were partly, to be honest, we were even partly worried about this billboard because, like, this billboard's kind of real. Is that very fun? Like,
is it not jokey
like, we don't
enough?
want it to be too
like, it
real.
actually does make a joke, but does it need to be a bigger joke? Like, is it bad that it's serious in any way?
We had to walk the line of like, because we actually do want to encourage people to come to the meet, and we thought a billboard could be one possible way to do that, and we certainly had to walk the line on that because we don't want to be too serious about a billboard,
and we wanted something that when people came to town, because it will still be
that's
there.
The big part of
it.
Yeah,
like it will still be there when people come to town, and that was another thing. Like we wanted a billboard to be up when people came to town so that they could take photos, see it,
with it,
like be part of that whole thing. So that was also key, is making sure that it was around for people.
Yes, so that's cool. The meet, also exciting news, Obsidian Ammonia is on board. They are making a Lift Hard, Live Easy classic special ammonia for the meet. Big Travis is hard at work in his scent shop over there, sniffing
lab.
And huffing and
mixing chemicals.
All the things he does. Yeah. He's like an evil scientist, isn't he?
Just like boiling pots and beakers all around. Everything's on a Bunsen burner. It's like, why is there always this open flame with a Bunsen burner going?
Don't worry about that.
Is fire needed for ammonia?
Yeah.
The amount of natural gas I go through in a month is just insane.
So there is going to be a special ammonia involved there, and one of the sponsors, Tommy D Creative. I don't know if you saw that we got them on board.
Kind of a big tech guy, in case people aren't familiar with it.
I heard you're gonna do a Hell in a Cell Royal Rumble. You, Mark Zuckerberg,
Elon Musk, and
Elon Musk,
CEO of Airbnb. And the CEO of Tinder, and we're just all gonna go at it. Last man standing, Hell in a Cell.
I'd pay to see it.
I'd pay to be in it.
Yes. Anything else about the meet, or that's pretty much?
No, people will hear about that plenty
ready
over the next few weeks here. So,
yeah, we're getting shit ready. We'll tell you that much. I had an interesting thing. I'll call this a sack segment, actually.
All right.
You want to see a little sack segment? You haven't seen this. I mean, technically you've sort of seen this, a digital version of this, but you haven't seen what I'm about to show you right now. It's kind of a fun little thing that I got whipped up here. So, are you ready for this?
I'm very ready.
Do you have any idea what I could?
No, you're saying a digital version, so I'm thinking it's like apparel, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
a digital version. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Let's see, this should be coming across. So make sure I'm holding this up right. So. We've got here our Massenomics trademark. I framed it. So I think I'll probably hang this up at the gym. Of course.
Oh, God, yeah. That's an amazing thing to hang up at the gym, because people will just all think it's fake. Then they'll read it and think, God, this seems really real to be fake.
This is a very expensive piece of paper is what I'll tell you, that I don't know what it does, if anything.
Yeah, we both got through this process. So, yeah, we have officially trademarked the name Massenomics. right?
Yeah.
Is that what that piece of paper is confirming?
That is weird. It's the name Massenomics. It's not even really per se the logo. It is the name Massenomics. And specifically in reference to headwear, bottoms as clothing, tops as clothing, online retail store service featuring t-shirts, sweatpants, sports singlets, headwear, short stickers, flags, banners, cups, headbands, drink insulators, and water bottles. And also Class 41, which is entertainment services, namely providing podcast in the field of fitness.
So if you're in any of those fields, do not even think about naming your company Massenomics.
Because we will send a team of lawyers after you with this piece of paper in hand. And
the
pitchforks.
U.S. government is essentially going to come and throw you in jail.
If you can, I don't know if you can read this, but this says the United States of America, the Patent and Trademark Office is not going to like to see that.
Yeah.
So finally, everyone else can stop using the name Massenomics
we
like
can
they have
finally
been.
put an end to all these imposters.
All
we
the people that
name.
were probably desperately wanting to use this name for their various businesses.
Tanner didn't go fight in a war overseas to have someone take our name, and now Uncle Sam has guaranteed us that right.
After we paid a lot of money to get that.
Yeah. Like, what's this? After we went through that process, it occasionally comes up where you'd be surprised the number of people that I talk to that think that they need to like copyright their little brand. And one, no, you don't need to do that. And two, after going through the process, I'm like, no, trust me, not only do you not need to do that, you don't want to do that. It's an enormous waste of money.
And it's sneaky expensive. Like if you hiring, and like also you get partway through the process and they're like, oh, it costs a little more money now, like for this part of the process. And you're like,
and then they also go through and like, and by the way, there's no guarantees that we can actually even secure any of this either.
Right. And like you get to a sunk cost fallacy fork in the road, even at times where we almost were like, oh, fuck, is this even worth it anymore? Like, do we just like, I could have seriously considered just canning it even after having sunk a decent bit of money.
We're not talking like we didn't spend like tens of thousands on this.
No,
like, it wasn't that,
but like enough money that I'm like, I'd rather have it.
Because did we do this through LegalZoom? Is that how we did this?
Yeah.
And I think it initially started like
$700 or something like that.
I thought maybe the number was even lower than that to start. And it was like, oh, that seems like nothing to do. And then it's just like every week you get an email and it was like a couple hundred more dollars. And you're like, what are we doing here?
Yes.
Kept going on for a dumb piece of paper. But
and
now
at
it's
the end
ours.
of the day, at the end of the day, we can hang this piece of paper in Massenomics Gym and make an Instagram post of it. So can you put a price on that?
I mean, I think you can say that it will pay for itself in that case, for sure.
We will get hundreds of likes and a couple of comments on that Instagram
post.
Well,
if everything goes according to plan.
That's true.
If Instagram decides to show or post that day.
If they allow it,
then it'll be hilarious. Well, I'm glad. I kind of actually forgot that even existed. I never got closure on that. So, might have to have you fax me over a copy of that so I can pin it on my wall here.
We have a fax machine out. I have one at work if you need me to send you a fax.
Well,
you're kind of a tech guy. You probably know about fax machines.
Yeah, I also don't have a fax machine, so that it's not going to get too far.
I matted this.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's got this
great
background beige. This cream. What do you call that?
Like a beige or something.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if there was like a picture of like a really high-ranking political person on there to like it would look like that they somehow signed off on this approval.
Well, it is.
Like if Joe Biden's picture was on the bottom, it'd be like, did he single-handedly approve of this copyright?
This is stamped and signed by Catherine Kelly Vidal, who is the director of the United States Patent and Trademark Office.
Oh, there you go. That's pretty official.
What more could you need than that?
I don't know. Would you say Kelly? Dr. Kelly?
Catherine.
Dr. Catherine.
Catherine Kelly Vidal.
Catherine Kelly.
It doesn't even say doctor.
Oh, I
don't even think this woman has a PhD.
Well, you don't need to. She's in charge of the patent
government
office. I mean, what would a PhD do there?
Good enough for government work.
That's right. Amazing. You can finally sleep comfortably tonight knowing that is done. Been sleeping so restlessly these last 3 years.
Thank God it's done so that we can't spend any more money on it.
It saved us from ourselves.
Yes. Okay. Well, there's a few other things there. Do we want to hit on any of those hot topics that you still got there?
I don't know. Okay, I got to ask you. You know what's funny to me thinking about it the other day? I forget it even exists. Cologne.
I thought about this recently. I have thought about this at like length recently.
Okay.
Really recently. Maybe I saw this in there and it made me think about it or something. I don't even know why I would have
We were
thought
at dinner
of this.
with some friends and someone, I don't even know how it came up, and someone goes, wait, do you, it was talking to the guys, like, do you guys wear cologne? I'm like, no. I'm not like 21 trying to.
Or
like,
60.
Yeah, like I'm not like freshly going to the bars thinking I'm picking up chicks with cologne. Like, like that's who's
Also
wears cologne, right?
That's a fallacy, anyways, isn't it? Like,
I don't know.
I don't like that stuff. Personally, I don't like it. I don't know. It gives me a headache. I don't want to smell I don't want to smell strong smells of any kind. Really, preferably,
yeah,
good or bad or not, or I'd rather. What smells good to me is like not a smell.
like neutral.
Right.
Just clean. And then with cologne, it goes to the whole thing of with guys, especially, it's probably changed a little bit, but if you're in your 30s or older, there's probably like two names that like stick out, and that'd be like David off Cool Water and like Curves for him or whatever. Like those were both like, it just felt like the cologne that guys all had in the earlier 2000s. Like that was the thing. Everyone had those damn colognes.
I had a nicer one that I bought from like Herberger's when I was maybe like a junior in high school. I think I still have that around somewhere. Like I never got.
You have to use it so much to use any of it.
I have it's probably 20 years old by now, and I mean I haven't used it in 15 years probably, or like I quit using that at a certain. But I used to, I guess. Like when I was
probably changed drastically if you were to spray it.
When I was 21, I think I did put that on.
I remember occasionally
something.
Putting it on, like before I go out, like, oh, cologne, here we go. We got to put this on. Yeah.
I would never consider doing that now. There is no reason.
That's what seemed so funny to me is when it brought up. It was like, no, why on earth would I put that on now?
Why? Maybe that's part of when you're not like on the. When you're not like
you're not on the prowl,
right?
It's not the whole Sex Panther.
But is that
thing.
helpful, or is it just like, let me check all the boxes just in case? I
gotta make sure everything is that possibly can work in my favor is going.
Well, I get you don't want to smell bad, but also I'm like, I'm just gonna shower before we go out, and like
if you
make
smell
sure I'm
bad,
clean.
cologne isn't going to be the saving factor there.
Right.
Like you still smell bad. Now you're just going to smell bad mixed with cologne, which is even worse.
I think what's really bad though is like if people wear too much of it though. That's terrible.
God, yeah, and it chokes you out. Like you've probably had a job. Like it seems like every time you have a job somewhere, there's at least one guy that works there, and like he is a heavy cologne user, and like his smell just permeates through the entire office. Like you can tell.
So just think though, they're doing that every day before they even go to work.
I bet those people don't even smell it anymore though. Because
they can't.
Their car is totally soaked in it. I would imagine the rooms of their house, it's like a smoker at that point. Like it's just in the fabric of their house, the fabric of their car. It's in their office. It's in all their clothes. Like you were saying how you have a shirt that you think stinks, even though it gets washed. Like, their clothes just smell like it forever. Like it's just who they are. It's part of them.
That'd be really weird to put that on.
Goals, right?
Yeah. I'm not criticizing anyone that wears it. That just is a weird thought to me.
It's just so not part of who I am. And I think women get a pass on perfume because women's whole thing is they always smell like something, it seems like.
Right.
So I don't have any.
But did perfume were you ever like, ooh, I like that woman's perfume. She's the one for me.
Not really.
Maybe subconsciously there's something that we don't know.
Yeah,
like, because they say, like pheromones and like different things like that. But I don't know if I'm buying that.
I know. I'm not sure I am either. So that was just my thoughts on cologne recently.
I do think that it's funny. What about Brute?
Dude. Oh,
did you ever have Brute?
Dude,
what about Axe body spray for that matter?
I hate Axe was the worst because that came out when we were in middle school,
right?
Which meant that so many middle school boys who already have terrible hygiene, It's like, oh,
Just
I can
cover it up with Axe body spray.
I can just spray this and I smell clean. And like the number of times
we had so many people have rotten old shirts that have like
exactly
you take them off the hanger and they're hard.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like this just shows how this just like aligned
universal.
with how middle school boys thought it was like, oh, okay, let's see. I had gym class. I got really sweaty in these clothes. I put them in my gym bag, left them these sweaty clothes in this gym bag all weekend. It might have been a long like holiday weekend. Came back, sweaty ass clothes in there. It's like, hey, hold it up, and then it's like you're spray painting it with Axe. Like
Covering
it's good.
every square inch of it with Axe.
It's like, no, it's not good. It smells really shitty, actually. And guys would do that. Like the locker rooms would smell so bad because there'd be so much Axe in the air, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. So gross too. But did you ever see that where people would take a shirt and it would actually be rigid?
I don't know if I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Football's the worst. I mean, football's the best, but also football
for smells
football,
is the worst.
Terrible hygiene and clothing items is socially acceptable in the sport of football.
Well, your pads just smell terrible, and like there's nothing you can do to change that.
No,
you know,
the pads thing is a gross if you think about it, like what those do, because you like wear them all season, then you put them back in this like closet, and then you check out, and then you probably have somebody's that were somebody else's last season and somebody's before that, and
just handed down through the years, just disgusting.
But like even I was having this conversation about shoes with, I was actually talking about it with my son or somebody else, I can't remember now, but yeah, like I get that you want to have cool basketball shoes, like fashion, like is relevant in the sport of basketball. In football, it was almost a contest to see who could have the shittiest shoes. Yeah. It was like, no, I want to, like, you want to look like, you want to look tough,
like just war torn and just destroyed.
Right. I remember that. It was like, no, it was like, we want these, you know, like,
but
like,
I also think part of that too was
okay.
that aesthetic of like the time when we were growing up.
It was,
like, it was the same
aesthetic
thing
of football.
I mean, just
time.
Recently has the gym aesthetic changed a little bit, because forever that was also the gym aesthetic is like, no,
that's true.
You want, like when we talked to Evan Centopani or however you say his last name, like
the
like
holiest,
that was the look. It's like we know a few guys that have like taken that to an absolute extreme personally,
to a bad
that,
way,
like actually have shirts that are probably 20 years old that are essentially see-through.
Older, yeah.
I mean, the shirts actually had a date on them. They were older than 20 years old, and they are essentially see-through because they'd been worn and washed and sweated so many times. There was nothing left. It was just the thinnest. It was like a sheer. It wasn't even cloth. It was like sheer at that point. But even like in wrestling, I remember that it was still like the point of pride was just have wrestling shoes that were just destroyed, and all of your sweats were just the most disgusting, ripped, torn, stained, ruined thing possible. But there has been such a push in the last 10 years of like athleisure wear and like elevated, you know, gym stuff has become so much more socially acceptable to wear outside of the gym anyways, that has now seeped into the gym where it's more fashionable. And but yeah, that has definitely been a thing that's changed. Like when I think about the clothes that people wore to practices and things like that when I was in high school, man, it was all like trash clothes, it seemed like.
Well, everyone I played with had like this undershirt football shirt that was like the rattiest old shirt you could ever find. Like that was like a point.
It's like, oh yeah, this was from 8th grade football camp, and I'm a senior in high school, and I've probably worn this for 10,000 practices.
But also, I was in the transition period. We mostly still wore jerseys that were big and baggy, and like that people would tuck the jersey under their pant, like fucking Brian Bosworth, you know, like that was still everyone had the very mesh jerseys, you know, like the big, like it was just at like my last year that one of ours changed to like more what you consider
for actual
jersey
game
now.
Jerseys, you're saying?
Just a game jersey. Oh, everyone's practice jersey was like that.
Yeah,
but
see, the practice
our game jerseys were even like that up until like my last year.
And I think in South Dakota, like that honestly was more of a small school thing, where I think a lot of the smaller schools did have almost more of the crop top, you know, jersey. Like
that's what people wore.
Yeah, because we never had that ever. That was never part of our thing.
Okay.
But it did just make me think though of like how you wear the same clothes and sweat in them. It's funny that football pants, like you wear your practice pants all week and just sweat in them and you just put them on every day. Yeah. It's like, no, these are just the same pants you just wear. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Football stuff. I don't know what that started from, but football as a sport, and I think wrestling's in that same boat, and probably hockey for all I know, where it's like,
I would
it's almost
assume.
cool. But basketball, I always thought differently, where it's like, no, you kind of like, it's important to look cool when you're playing basketball.
Basketball has way more of a style. Well, but yes, basketball was for sure the first one to me that had that style factor.
Right.
Now that has seeped into all sports so much more now, though.
True.
You know,
Right. But still, football shoes, cleats are still like the most like, I don't know, what cleats do people, it's not like people are needing to wear the Jordans or the Durants or, you know, and stuff like that. In football cleats, it's like,
but there's
give
still
me the black cleats.
Yeah, but now the big thing is like all the NFL, they all have their special edition, like airbrushed ones that are for their cause. You know, like they all have their like that is a thing. And
but
then
are people
also
are like the consumers then buying?
I don't think they get
or?
that as much, but like Jordan, and then they were like making Yeezy cleats for a while. Like, I mean, they do get hyped, but it just isn't as much as shoes that you could wear during the week. I mean, no matter how cool your football cleats are, you can't wear them anywhere besides the football
That's
field.
probably the biggest difference because people wear basketball shoes are fashion shoes and basketball shoes where cleats.
But nowadays also basketball shoes are not that though. You know, like
real basketball. Yeah. But like in the 90s, that's the 90s basketball shoes. That's what they were.
I had to laugh today, Tanner. Went and got lunch. Or we went down the street to go somewhere for lunch today, and our waitress had on the Air Max or the Air Up Tempo 96. Is that what they are?
Awesome.
And I'm like,
what color?
They were the white ones with the black outline of Air. And I'm like, I've probably never seen a woman wear these shoes ever. And I just thought it was funny to see our waitress having those on.
Well, the last time I saw a woman wear those was probably in about 2000 when I watched high school basketball women wear those, or maybe even 2000, 2000-ish. Yeah. I remember seeing some girls from our high school that had those. And
Really?
I always thought they were cool. Oh yeah.
I remember one guy having those. He had the all black ones with the white outline.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
And I thought that those
I just like black, of course.
Yeah, and I thought those looked so cool at the time. I had no clue what they were. I was in elementary school, and this guy was way older. He was at like the place in town that had the basketball courts that you go to, and I'm like, damn, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I'm not a sneakerhead, but someday I'll probably buy a pair of sneakers.
You're really leaving the door open on that one.
Not on the secondhand market, though. I have to wait until they re-release it. Like Reebok released the Shacknosis once not too long ago. I almost thought about buying a pair, or I thought about buying a pair. Couldn't bring myself to do it, but there's been times since, if they would have been available again, not through the secondhand market, that I would have bought them.
The Air Up Tempo 96. They always like that shoe. Nike still is kind of always putting out.
There's so many different versions of it and stuff.
So there's a lot of different versions, and then the colorways. Some of them are like intentionally bad. Like in the stores around here, they had an all black with purple letters for Air, and I'm like, this has to be one of the worst colorways I've ever seen this shoe in. It looked terrible. And then they do the other thing where the Air stays on the upper, but sometimes they have the Air, the letters extend down to the outsole.
It doesn't,
and or the midsole, and I don't think that looks as good either.
I don't think that looks good either.
No.
See, I don't like all those bad versions of it. I like the very traditional white and black or black and white, like.
But they know that's what people want, so that's why they don't release that one, because then it keeps the hype up on them.
Keeps it more up tempo.
That's right. So, wow, what did we start? Was that Cologne? Is that how we got there?
I think so. That officially wraps up Cologne.
That's good.
Speaking of consumer items that you can buy that are very fashionable, are you familiar at all with SPUD Inc.?
You know, I'm slightly familiar, but I'd like to know more.
You check them out over at spud-ink-straps.com. And today I want to do a SPUD Inc. roulette where I'm just going to wave my maybe
you crazy SOB.
Bit.
What are you going to do next?
And then I'm just going to click on something. I don't know what I'm even... chains. I went to their chain category on the SPUD Inc. website. Did you know that they sell chains? They've got if you're conjugate, they sell 5/8 chains in pairs. You can buy them right from SPUD Inc. They also sell like the 1/4 inch chain, which I think would be more of a feeder chain. And then they've got the chain mate, which it's like a barbell collar that has the rod sticking out from it that you can actually hang the chains on. And so they have a few different chain options over at SPUD Inc. If you're sort of person that's into a little accommodating resistance, then you might want to check out SPUD Inc. And they also do ship worldwide. You can buy your stuff anywhere, so you can get this chain shipped anywhere you'd like. And they offer free shipping, though, on all domestic orders that are $75 or more. So you almost can't afford not to buy your chains from SPUD Inc.
Not to have chains hanging from everywhere.
And then also, of course, you can check out the more customary favorites like the belt squat belt, the bow tie, elbow sleeves, knee sleeves, wrist wraps, knee wraps, wrist straps. Check it all out at SPUD Inc. and let them know your good buddies at Massenomics sent you.
And this episode is also brought to you by SwissLink. In 1995, Maurice Big Mo Huffman founded SwissLink with the mission to bring authentic Swiss Army goods to the United States and into the hands of those yearning for quality gear at uncompromised prices. Now, for nearly 3 decades, Big Mo has been traveling far and wide in search of the best items from military forces around the world. Big Mo doesn't only find authentic military clothing for SwissLink, he brings in everything you can imagine from Swiss military rangefinders to Italian police tracksuits. SwissLink.com is also home to the SwissLink Classic Wool Blankets. They're an ideal mix of 80% wool and 20% recycled fibers, and it's that special blend that provides a soft, luxurious feel while maintaining all the benefits of wool. The designs are reminiscent of brands that rhyme with Schwendelton and Schwudson Bay, but are available at only a fraction of the cost. SwissLink's exceptional collection and dedication to quality customer service distinguishes them from the rest. Enjoy a 15% discount on your next purchase at SwissLink.com by entering the code MASS, that's MASS, at checkout to save 15%. Thank you, SwissLink.
What was this thing from SwissLink that I was thinking is it the Storm Tech sandbag that SwissLink has?
Well, let's take a closer look here. You have my attention.
No, it's really not sand.
Wholesale box of storm bags.
Yes, Storm Tech. You can go to SwissLink and check out the original sandless sandbag. Storm Tech is the manufacturer, I believe. This is for instant protection as an on-site barrier. Walls simply submerge the storm bag in water. So you normally if there's flooding, you'd fill sandbags with sand and use it as a levee, a barrier.
Yep.
These are almost like an empty bag, and you just set them out in the water, and they fill up as if they are take the properties of a full sandbag.
In 3 to 5 minutes, it expands from 16 ounces to 33 pounds.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what would be a really good joke on someone is to put 20 of these in their car and spill a bunch of water on it and then just watch their car go from 5 pounds to 500.
Take that, suckers. That's so good of an idea. I think you should all go to SwissLink and buy a case of you can buy them in the 10-pack.
Yeah.
Actually, or 25-pack. 25-pack is pretty reasonably priced for how many you're getting there.
25-pack, only $160. Damn, you could be doing some crazy stuff with that.
You could set up some serious levees. Maybe you're a basement gym owner and you don't want anything to flood in your basement. You just have some of these Storm Tech bags handy.
Yeah, drive your Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry with these things.
Because of the Storm Tech sandbags from SwissLink. Thank you, SwissLink.
Yeah. That is impressive.
That is
soap spills and plugs unwanted openings. Tanner, you should get some of these for the spring flooding that happens in the gym. Throw a few of these down, soak that right up.
I got scared. We've actually gotten a decent bit of rain.
Yeah, there has been almost 2 inches, hasn't it?
Yeah, has it been raining in down south there?
I mean, it has, but nothing crazy.
Oh, yeah, the crops could really use it, though.
Oh, man, I just keep thinking, man, we needed this. That's all I think when I see it raining. We really needed this.
We got a couple good shots of rain, and I always wonder about the basement at the gym, but it's been really good. There's been no issues. They redid some sump pump stuff, and I think maybe it took care of it, or maybe we haven't had anything significant enough yet to really push the limits.
Was that happening in the spring, or was it happening with summer rains before?
Both, really, just to varying levels, but let's see, it was a year ago that in the summer last year that shit really got wild for a while there, where it was a legitimate, I was like, oh,
this is a liability.
No, this is bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems to be better, so that's good. But I did get scared. Somebody messaged me the other day that there was a leak in the gym, and this was like when it was raining, and I was like, oh crap, it must be coming up through the floor again. But it was actually a leak from above.
Oh boy, that's happened.
There was
before.
some, yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's different. That's a different thing, because we are at another level. So there's some water above that.
There was that time
it
someone
was minor.
spilled like a can of Coke, and somehow it made it all the way down through the cement floor onto the wooden platform.
Yeah,
just crazy.
That was when we were just in
just the one side,
the first iteration of Massenomics. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that well.
We're being so confused. Like you're looking around, and then you look up, and you're like, "Wait,
it's like
stained on the ceiling, and it came down here. That doesn't even make sense."
That's the things you experience when you run Massenomics gym. I guess Coke spills from the floor above.
They're everywhere. Did we have any? We kind of have touched a little bit on sports, but do we have any formal sports and books for this week?
Sports. Those golf leagues came together. That's old news, right?
Yeah. Now at this point, that is technically old news, yes.
Anything else? Sports? It's kind of, I think LSU won college baseball, which
I believe I saw that.
I couldn't possibly care much less about.
If it wasn't for Instagram, I would not even know that was a thing.
Yeah. What else is going on in sports? Is there anything?
It's kind of a slow time of year for sports.
Mostly. It is kind of a slow time a year, isn't it?
It was the NBA draft not too long ago.
Yeah.
That guy from France or whatever.
My God, he's tall and skinny.
God, I know.
It's like that kid, I think he's on the Thunder that he was hurt this year, so he didn't play. What's his name? I can't
remember these guys' names.
It's the same
either.
body. I'm like, what are these body types that you're the slender man? Somebody put you in a funny mirror and took a normal sized guy and just stretched them out so there was no mass left. It was just like a tall, skinny man that doesn't even have to jump to dunk it.
So it's Wemby. I don't even know if that's how you say it. I'm assuming Wemby or I mean it's longer than that, but I saw a meme and it was him walking in a suit, and it's like Wemby walking in a suit looks like when the Three Little Rascals are trying to get approved for a bank loan. And I'm like, dude, it's so true because it's so long and awkward looking.
Yeah, that's funny.
The dude is enormous, though. Like, if he can stay healthy, it seems like he should be pretty insane.
I think dudes like that gotta put a little bit of weight on, although Kevin Durant never did hardly. But like, you gotta do. That's not helpful to make an NBA season to be that. They're frail. Like, there's no way that person isn't frail.
Right. Just your durability is so low when you have that little amount of muscle to just stabilize things and protect you, Yeah,
I mean, you're going to go against men, like grown ass men that that I don't know. Maybe that's not the correct way. Maybe I'm incorrect.
Well, I don't think he needs to gain 70 pounds, but it probably wouldn't hurt him to gain like 20 or 30 when he's that tall.
I bet if he gained 20 or 30 pounds, you wouldn't even know.
No, I don't think he would.
You'd be stretched out over 7 feet. You're like, yeah, it's like, yeah, he just needs a little more. Needs to be a little something there. Like, it's got to be like that dude could jump higher if he got like a little bit more. Like, I can't see visible.
And it's not
muscle
7 feet.
On him.
He's it's according to the Spurs, they have his official height at 7 feet 3.5 inches. Like, that's enormous.
Like it doesn't look, and his wingspan has to be crazy too, because it doesn't look like he might almost be able to not jump and dunk just about. Like, he barely moves and can dunk it.
Yeah. Well, this says with shoes on, they say he's 7'5", which, I mean, yeah, that is insane. Yeah, there's no way you can't. I mean, you can dunk for easy, like on the ground still at that point, right?
I'm sure he can jump and hang on the rim without, or I would think he can stand and grab the rim without jumping.
I would sure think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's sports. How about books?
Yeah, I don't have anything. I don't have anything to add there this week.
No. It's tough to always have something to add to the book.
To just be reading a book every week. Like, come on, give me a break.
I wish. I wish I didn't have anything. Don't really, but like, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if I didn't have that much to do. I could certainly spend a lot more time reading.
Oh yeah,
and I wouldn't dislike that. That would be an enjoyable way to spend a good bit of time every day.
And then you'd have that garage full of books that you've been after all these years.
You think these weights are cool?
Yeah.
Well, how about these books?
You know what's cooler than weights? Books.
You know what's cooler than weights? Sports and books.
Yeah, sports and books.
All right. Should we close this one out on a high note? Sports
I
and
think
books?
so. Yep, I think so.
All right. Make sure to check out the items from the new drop. We talked about the blue limited edition. It's not technically limited edition, but it is blue, so it's kind of limited edition. The Jefferson Deadlift tee that's back, better than ever. Drug it out of the closet, special for this Jefferson Deadlift timing and for this 4th of July summer party that's going on. And then also the new tank top that you got to hop online to check out what that new tank top is. Buy them both.
Do it.
Tommy,
go on our YouTube too. Watch our videos.
Oh, yeah.
Watch those damn videos. Comment.
Please subscribe.
Like, subscribe. Comment again.
Like, legitimately go on there and like them and leave a comment and subscribe. Do all those things.
Do all 3, but if you're going to not do all 3, at least do like 2 of the 3.
Right. Like, for sure, subscribe.
Yeah. So, okay.
And then for sure like
subscribe.
And for sure comment.
We'll let you, if you want to pick between subscribing and commenting, you can have your choice there. Preferably, you would do both. But if you're going to pick just one, you can pick just one. But you have to subscribe. You can decide on the other 2 what you want to do. You have to do one.
Yeah, but if you're really feeling generous, do both.
You should do all 3, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Do it all.
We're putting just thousands of dollars hiring. Our staff is just enormous. All the paid actors, the producers to help script these videos. You think we can just come up with stuff on the fly?
You know how much we have to pay Larry to be in on these videos?
Yeah.
He doesn't come cheap.
Larry's booking fees are insane. We have a full
He could
team
be out
of writers.
digging a hole with an excavator.
Yeah, and instead he's in the gym. So we got to cover those. There's a writer's strike, and we're still paying for writers to write scripts for us.
Yeah, we don't just use Chat GPT like everyone else does.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is in the red, so we need you to be liking and subscribing and commenting.
That's the only way we can get back out of this
It's
hole.
the only thing that can save. Money can't even save us now. It's just vanity metrics.
The only
thing that can save us. It's the only thing that can fix this mess.
Vanity metrics.
To say there's a lot of people that are going to need some money pretty soon if things don't turn around.
A lot of investors that are going to be knocking on our door, aren't they? If they don't see a few more likes and comments.
We made some pretty big promises that in hindsight we shouldn't have. So if you could help us out just a little bit
with
here.
likes and comments.
Yeah. This hole is deep, and the only way we're getting out is with likes and comments.
We can only like and comment our way out of this hole.
It's like any good business. You can only like and comment your way to success. There's no other way to be successful.
Forget about the new drop. Don't buy anything. Just spend all your time liking and commenting.
Okay, we're going to go back and edit out the part where Tanner said to buy stuff. That doesn't even matter. We just need likes and comments. It's the only thing that can save this. It's the only thing that'll keep people happy at this point. So please do it.
Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. And Tommy, where do they find you at?
Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just please make sure to follow, like, comment, subscribe. Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.